All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's a show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in 3 categories: education, storyteller and drama, and arts. For 5 years and with over 280 weekly episodes and 64 million plus downloads, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals. It is based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age, race, ethnicity, or gender. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. We are all busy, but I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment and vote now. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all 3 of the categories: education, storyteller drama, or art.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
News on the flip side. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcast. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The News on the Flip Side, in the category of politics and news. News on the Flip Side is a much different news and political program, which is not deemed as opinion news. Listen as anchor host Joe Montaldo brings you just the facts from trusted sources, which will allow you, the people, to make up your own minds on the various stories being reported on. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the News on the Flip Side in the category of news and politics. That's podcastawards.com. Please take a moment and vote now.
Look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth. It was because here in this land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, "My Pledge," he had written these words: "America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
Go Uncle Ronald, baby. That's the way you tell him how it is out there, Ronald. For any of my Z Gens, I know that's a little rough for y'all guys because a lot of what he was talking about, y'all probably had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I was going to say for the two of the many wars he brought up, World War II, the average fighting age of the soldier sent to either front from America was 21 years old. In Vietnam, that age was 19.
Yeah, and the average age in the front line,
teenage boys, really.
The average for a newbie in the front line was like 26 seconds. So, it was, what we lost 63,000 there, I think it was. Nothing compared to what we lost in World War II. What was that, Jeffrey? You mean in Desert Storm? No, we lost, I think, 5,000 troops in Desert Storm. I'd have to go look, to be honest with you. It's been a long time, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't
under 10,000, you believe.
It was, we fought it. Well, America's learned over the years how to actually fight wars. That's what makes it so dangerous. It's not so much, when China or Russia's doing this, that, or other thing. If you're looking what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine right now, if they were fighting even one of our states, they're so much more methodical than they are. They would pretty much be already having to surrender themselves or use nukes.
What's that gentleman's name?
That Franklin is Bill Bruford, the cat.
Okay. I could tell it was a boy cat because of the color.
Most oranges allegedly are males, and he's named after a very famous drummer.
Bill Bruford?
Bruford, yeah, he's the original drummer for the band Yes. His brother is also orange, and his name is Phil Collins, another famous drummer.
Sorry. Good sense.
That's their names. I'm sorry, Bill and Phil.
Oh my God! No more drugs for you people. Y'all are officially cut off, man.
I just like cats.
I have 3.
There's a thing about people who like cats, but we're not going to go there because this is not a paranormal show.
I like black cats too. Okay, so
there's nothing wrong with black. Why do you hate on a black cat? Black cat is just a cat.
Baby, Huey's a black kitty.
We black. That's
from the streets.
Let's see. Racism against black kitty cats. That's some shit there.
Didn't JD Vance get into some trouble for talking about like cat ladies and children or something?
He said unmarried women with children were angry cat ladies who sat around and stupid about things or something.
I'm glad somebody brought this up. We get a little sideways segue. So the committee that decided that you could get an abortion in New York after the baby was born are all women, by the way. And none of them have children. None of them.
I'm shocked.
And I'm thinking, yeah, exactly. I am too. I'm thinking, don't you think some people who have babies maybe should be on this board and to make some decisions here? Well, actually, Carol, yeah, there is choices for women, but now what you're gonna, the women who want babies and want to be healthy, you're gonna try to push them out. I mean, what is going on in our country? You want to disarm our country? You want to de-baby? I'm just confused.
And to as you said, have an abortion after the baby's born. What's the point?
That's not an abortion. That's murder. I mean, that's murder. That's murder in every state in the union. That's freaking murder. So I don't know how you get around that.
Yeah,
and I don't even think the high court's going to go for that.
I mean, but doesn't that defeat the entire purpose of the abortion? And most women want to have the baby out before that stage, so their body doesn't go through all those drastic changes. Because there's a lot of things that happen, each 3 months. Your body changes dramatically, even starting the day you get pregnant. So it defeats the purpose of the idea.
Ginger said they should have aborted JD Vance. Look, I'm not getting into Vance. That's Jay and Sean's guy. I'm staying away from the guy.
He's
I
an
got
East Coast
plenty.
dude. I mean, what can I say?
He's I
He's
think
middle America.
You know what, y'all? I think him and Kamila are having an affair.
What?
I think
Call me a liar if you want, and I don't care to Google the pictures of him, but Google every picture or every video where JD Vance smiles. I swear to God, his eyes shine. I swear to God, they glisten. Look, and it's not. I swear to God, look at the pictures. The guy
Let's not be telling the world that now they're just going to think he's Satan, man. Stop.
Well, maybe he is, but
oh my God.
It seems the guy has a natural charm. That's all I'm
Look,
saying.
even Satan is better than Kamala Harris.
Oh, Jesus.
Again, a guy with a natural charm. You know?
Kamala all the way, man. Kamala all the way. Wait, what? Kirby? No,
she has no natural charm. She seems abrasive every time she's on air.
They're pushing really hard. They're trying really, really hard to get her to be popular in the media.
But you see, the problem is that none of the real attacks have started yet. So we're going to start seeing the.
Oh yes, they have. You didn't
they have
about her.
Well,
yeah, they have.
But
Trump's
right now,
got some funny ones that we can't repeat on the air.
Where are they? We'll play them. You find it. If you can play them with TV or on the internet, we can play them.
Don't play the Rammstein song that just says Rammstein over and over. Though.
Rammstein.
That's a great song.
It is a good song. I love that. I have no idea what they're saying, but it's awesome.
If y'all find, we'll play it. But you got to remind me to put
there are
YouTube
some other German
private.
lyrics in it, but not much.
Well, we can play anything we want. We just
not
YouTube
that
just got to put in private
other
mode.
one.
That's a. As long as we put YouTube in private, we can play whatever we want.
Some old Iron Butterfly.
Facebook bitches sometimes are not enough to worry about.
Yeah, there's a Rammstein song where they speak in Spanish instead of German.
Well, Spanish is right next.
They've got "I Hate You" in English. The other song, what is it? Du hast? They have it. It's in English. Yeah, you can hear it in English. All it says is "I hate you." Pretty much.
Like Nina. She has 99 roof balloons.
It's like the Beatles song "I Do It in the Road." It's just like 3 verses. I'm sorry, people. It's not funny.
There is a Rammstein
song. They're commissar.
Oh, so I think we should all get together and rewrite the I-90 song, I-94 song, whatever it is. Where you're born an asshole, and we should rewrite this for Kamala Harris. We need to just squeeze her into this song. And I don't think the guy. I don't even know if the guy who owns it is even still alive, but because it's a good song for that. When you're born an asshole.
But every time she's on air, I've noticed lately, she comes off as an abrasive drunk.
That's because she is an abrasive drunk.
Yeah, I mean, it's
the other day she's up there she's talking and she's like, I'm thinking, is she channeling Joe? What the fuck is going on here? But my point is, they need to keep her on TV. The Republicans need to engage her everywhere they can so people get to see her. Because there's only 2 months. It's not like 8 months where we get to see Bumble and Joe. They got 2 months to prove to the public she's a bumbling idiot. I mean, we all know she's been bubbling in the background. And look, it just shows you how rotten the media is in our country. So The View, Whoopi's got a letter. She's reading a letter saying how Kamala Harris is not the border czar. I'm like,
I know. Isn't that amazing?
I know. And I'm like, really? I mean, I've seen Joe Biden on television go, she is the border. I'm like,
it's complete gaslight. It's like open gaslighting. Like, we can prove it, people. We have clips. So they're CNN, everywhere.
I know CNN got into it, and all of a sudden CNN blew up. Now they just had a meltdown. Nobody knows what's going on over there. We're not sure what's going to come back from CNN. Come back as that balance used to be. We'd all love you. We'd all watch you. You just need to be the guy in the middle, not the Fox, not the NBC, not the ABC. You just need to be the guy in the middle. And we'll all come back and watch it. Matter of fact, we'll use you for fact checking. But CNN, because they used to be a great media thing. Now they've been great in a long time, though. And, what,
CNN
10 years,
I've never known them to be central. They've always been left.
Well, they used to be in the middle. They started righty-tighty, and then they were in the middle.
They were always they started kind of in the middle and they drifted left. Now they're just they're like American Pravda. It's just I sometimes half expect them to start going into Soviet
They're
Russia.
Still not as bad as MSNBC though, man. And you know what's funny? NBC is not as bad as MSNBC. Well, MSNBC is just outrageous. I heard the other day I'm listening and the guy's talking to him. He's talking to Rachel Madcow Maddow. And so he goes, by the way, I've interviewed Rachel Madcow Maddow. But anyway, moving on. He goes, oh no, she has nothing to do with the border. Who told you that? And she's, and then they're arguing about, oh no, she had nothing to ever do with the border. Oh no, that was some guy Joe Biden put in, never could get the job done. And so then the guy stops in the middle of the conversation and goes, you ever heard of Lester Holt? He said, I'd like this interview. I'd like you to go watch with him and Kamala Harris about why she was a border czar and she never went to the border. And he came unglued. I mean, because now even the people that are far left are having a problem with this just blatant outright, because it makes them look so shitty.
I know.
It's almost, there was a big thing today from the Times about we all want to, not Donald Trump to win, but this is ridiculous. The media is just stupid. Nobody's going to believe this. It's getting to the point where it's just doing more damage than good. And when you start putting out saying, 2 weeks ago she was 17 points behind Trump, today she's 7 points ahead of Trump. That's an impossibility. I mean that's an impossibility. We all know that.
How about this fantasy? Now, I think that this commercial has since been pulled, but there was a pro Kamala Harris president commercial for and in it they say Trump, who started the birth certificate investigation on Obama, yada yada, in the commercial. They blame Trump for this sheriff in Arizona called Joe Arpaio.
Oh yeah, I love Joe.
Investigation on Obama's birth certificate, right? That this sheriff did this, not Trump. But the commercial says that Trump initiated the investigation into the birth certificate, and it's a flat out blatant lie. I don't know who made the commercial, whether it was the Democratic Party or Kamala Harris herself. And I saw it once, and I haven't seen it since. But I was like, wow, really? I remembered that, and it wasn't Trump that did that. So that's a blatant falsehood too. But I mean, what else can you do? I mean, people are going to believe that, Even if once that is ingrained, that those people are like, oh my God, he really did that, and it's over for him. I'm with those people.
Well, there's so much shit flying around right now. I don't know. It's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to who's got the most shit filed the highest, and how can you swim through it at the election time.
We've been saying that the whole time. You're picking between the lesser pile of shit.
Sean and I had this conversation.
Anyway, so who cares how high it goes? One of them has to win.
Sean and I had this conversation about them cheating at the beginning with Joe Biden, but Joe Biden's numbers got so far away it was impossible for them to cheat. Now, Kamala, if they can keep Kamala close, it's a viable, unless she can't get ahead in the swing states, and then they can't cheat. But if they get, but there is a little secret nobody wants to talk about. So when they announced that Kamala Harris was going to run for president, Trump went up 8 points in California. 8. He went from 35 to 43.
From her home state. From her home state.
That's what I'm saying. So he's got a chance of flipping, and right now sitting in New York, he is at 45%. That's unheard of for any Republican.
Kamala, wasn't she responsible for a lot of the decriminalization of a lot of really heinous crimes?
No, but she was also responsible for putting a lot of black people in jail for simple marijuana and simple cocaine charges.
Yeah, long term. At the same time, bragging,
using them for and then bragging they were being used for cheap labor, making what was it, 48 cents an hour.
No, but she would also brag about using marijuana herself.
Oh yeah, she was a pothead.
Complete hypocrite.
She's the problem for her is she's an alcoholic, and I think she should have to have a follicle test. See, Trump, you can't. There is no question he doesn't drink or smoke, but. And Kamala's, I think there should be a follicle test. I think we should request one if she's going to be president of the United States.
If I were Trump and I won the election, the first thing I would do is I would send her a bill for all the liquor she drank off of Air Force 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
100%, I'd send her a bill. Here's all the liquor you drank.
Somebody needs to make a collage of all of her ones where she's, and and that was so beautiful. And you've seen how that, oh man, and we're going to get that border under control. Oh, and then. And oh no, and Gandhi does. Oh no, that's how it's going to work. It's going to be beautiful. You just don't know. Everything's going to be wonderful.
The speech. Idiot. Did you see the speech where she already referred to herself as being the president?
No, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Trump's doing that too. So I mean, that's just wishful thinking.
Well, no, a lot of people thinking Biden's going to step down right at the end. So the Democrats. So I'm going to tell you a little secret right now. If they push Kamala into being president, that means they know they're not going to win the election. They want the credit for having the first black female president. That's what they want. They want the credit for it. Because come on. Democrat friends of mine I talked to, I said, do you really honestly think that Kamala Harris can sit across the table from Xi Jinping and make any impact on this man whatsoever? He's going to look at her and go, he said, y'all just go ahead and invade Taiwan. Americans ain't going to do shit.
I don't know. I mean, I hear she's pretty good on her knees.
Oh, well, they might work out a deal like that. I don't know. We can't go there. But
that's how she rose to power. I mean, that's
it is her superpower too. That's the sad part. And somebody ought to make a picture of all those judges. And anyway, we're gonna all get investigated by the FBI now.
I mean, we're kind of joking about it, but it's true. That's what's so ridiculous about it.
She's really not that attractive.
But see, this is what the problem is. I mean, there's so much on Kamala that you can run in, but you got to cram this all in. We are now 2 months. I mean, we're September, October.
They're hoping people just don't notice it, and they just
well, that's what they're hoping. That's the thing. But if there was a year of this, then there's no way. I would contest this whole thing. If I was a Republican, I would just stop right here and just contest the whole thing and say, if we're going to do it, it has to be fair. We have to be able to have the same amount of time to hate on her as we did on Joe Biden and just stop it.
Look, if I were Trump, I would refuse to debate her. I would refuse to debate anybody until they nominate somebody.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
Well, he already did. He said he's not going to debate her.
I think now he ought to, because he can probably, fluster her, make her, lose her mind.
No. We want her as she should be the nominee, so he can just slam dunk over her.
Yeah, because
over and over and over
because there is always a possibility at the convention site they may change their mind. Because I know they said in '68 they thought the candidate was going to be the candidate, and then all of a sudden, other people. Because really, and I said this to a friend of mine. I said, I'm looking at the Democrats, and she's the best thing.
Yeah, but on the same side,
I'd rather have your governor
greases the right palms. September 19th to 22nd. That's when we'll find out. But until then,
I would rather have your governor as president than Kamala Harris. I mean, this woman's an idiot. I've listened to her bumble and fumble more times than Joe Biden. It scares the living shit out of me.
And she's also a chameleon. It doesn't matter where she is. She assumes to the audience. In one audience, she's white. In another audience, she has picked up a Southern accent.
But at least now they can make a commercial out of it.
Another audience, she's American Indian. She's tried all of these.
And she ain't got no American Indian in her whatsoever. She does have India in it. No, but she does have India in it. So
from India.
She has been in whatever group she in. That's who she plays to. So, but now I love
how confused we are as American citizens when it comes to Indians
versus Indians. Yeah,
because Americans have a hard time dividing that shit.
It's like a Galaxy Quest: minors versus minors. You got those who mine for ore and those who are under the age. Minors. You say you don't know who we're talking about. You see those minors over there? You mean the guys with the pickaxes? No, the children.
The children with the pickaxes? Oh, that's even scary. What the hell? What's that? Carissa? I'm sorry, Carissa. What do you got for us? You going to vote for Trump? Well, we're going to do. We always do the polls, and I'm sure they're going to be interesting this week, and I'm sure they're going to be interesting for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm sure he's lost a few points with what he said about Kamala Harris on the National Association for Black Journalists meeting.
Oh well, wait. Let's go. You know what? Before we go on that. So this shit is just too funny. so he's talking to the black people, right?
To a caucus of black journalists. Yes.
Yeah. He sounds like an idiot. Well, no, they set him up, but still,
black female journalists. I don't think.
But in the end, he got a good rating from blacks in general, so that was a plus. So the media might have gave him some shit. Kamala comes in, does the same thing, and does it even worse than he did. Because now all them black ladies were like, no, well, wait, you're not black, Kamala. You're Indian and Jamaican or whatever the hell you are. You're not black. She keeps trying to refer to herself as African American, and she's not.
Implying
it's really pissing off the liberal African. It's pissing off all the African Americans. They're just getting pissed about it. But they're not, because Trump's an idiot. Trump wouldn't know how to speak to a black person if you said, Mr. Trump, you need to speak to this man with a courtesy and respect and not. He couldn't do it. He just doesn't understand the difference in mentalities. He's just like, and and when he makes general statements like those jobs, okay, what those electronics jobs and those car dealership jobs and those business jobs, is that what you're talking? Because blacks aren't just down there washing cars anymore. It's shit like that. So he's got to watch general slurs like that. Yeah, Mexicans are taking some black jobs. They're also taking some white jobs too. People pay attention out there.
But that's the nature of the beast, though, Joe. I mean, some of the books that have been written by family members and children, and even his own, he seems to have been bullied. He reacts like someone who has through their life been bullied quite frequently by lashing out in sometimes very vicious ways.
Oh, hey, Roseanne. It's he's got the numbers to win. I mean, it's still his to lose. When it comes right down to it, it's still his to lose. So I loved it yesterday. So somebody sends me Newsweek or somebody sends me a thing. Oh, Kamila's ahead in 5 swing states, and I'm thinking, really? Yeah, she made up 7 points. I mean, because in some of these swing states, she was back a good ways. I'm like,
what they do oversample Democrats and women again?
So they take one poll, because remember when we go to the polls, we use group polls. They take one poll, don't talk about any of the other polls, and that's the poll they use. And it's generally a poll somewhere like downtown New York, Boston Mall, or somewhere like that. Even though it may be up to 1,000 people sometimes, the demographic is. So what I wrote to NBC did one, so I wrote to NBC and I said, I'm confused. I said, own American Polling Company. We did a poll with 10,000, and that poll was a group poll. It's not showing what your poll is. I said, and I noticed your demographics where they were taken from. I said, I'm a little worried that you're misleading Democrats. And the guy wrote me back and said, why? I said, because obviously that 41% is in favor of Trump. I said, so almost everybody you interviewed was a Democrat, and that's what the split is. 47 for Kamala, 41 for Trump, and those were Democrats for Trump. I said, I think you may be not being straightforward with your polls.
Well, yeah, I was just about to
say
that.
You're not going to take a poll downtown Boston and find, but maybe 5 conservatives if you're lucky.
Yeah, but how do we know that on some of these poll sites, the question that I read says, do you like pizza? Well, I say yes. But on the other end, with the guys who are taking the poll, the question is, will you vote for Biden?
Well, so a lot of polls are still taking.
That's how we don't know that that's happening either.
Yeah, but a lot of polls to offset the internet polls are still taken by hand. They still go out and take the poll, which doesn't mean people don't cheat on those. They do. I know some pollsters that used to try to poll for whatever they personally believe, and they got big money for doing it, by the way. It's we knew a couple of polling companies down here back in the day that did a lot of polling, but they still poll like that. They're still out there polling on the sides and trying to make people really kind of get a real feel what's going on. But when you only poll in like the Boston Common or certain parts of New York, you're not going to get a real true feel of what's going on. You're just going to get that. You need to have a poll that reaches people, and 1,000 people is just not enough. You really need a poll of about 10,000, and you need to know that at least 40 or 50% were Republicans and Independents. That way, you've got a poll that's reasonably okay. That's why when we do the polls every show, we do so many of them, so people can actually see. Look, this is the trend. This isn't what we personally believe. This is what's trending. And it makes people help to, as a matter of fact, we get a lot of feedback on polls, which is nice. But and then people say, "Can we send you polls?" I said, "If they're legit, yeah." I said, "But if some poll you made on Yahoo, no, not so much. You can keep that." And Jack, most of the time, you can go to right now. It'll be up again tomorrow. Go to upurintalkradio.com, and you can take the survey off of there, or there's the American Polling Company on Facebook. Yes, you can find it there too. Yeah. Well, it's been around now for, I don't know, a decade or so. So people when they go out, there's a lot of people have it saved in their favorites and stuff. So when we put out a poll, it goes out. I know it's got about 400,000 followers, so we get pretty legit results. It's not always, and sometimes we leave them up for a while and it gets really crazy. That's matter of fact. That's why I predicted Trump was going to lose last, because the polls from our website said he was going to lose.
Yeah, I didn't believe you. We closed that show off, and I was like, I'm going to disagree on this one, but you were right.
I was hoping you were right, too. That's the bitch part.
Yeah,
but the
I think everybody
shows
knows now.
So far, the polling companies, the one's been 100% right. So I don't want to jinx it because of what it might say this time. So it's going to predict Kamala Harris to win. It better be a jinx.
Well, we consulted Vegas since the swap? We haven't. And let me do that real quick, because Vegas had been, for the last 8-9 months we've been doing polls, strictly saying that Trump was going down.
I'm going to question while we're on Vegas. When did Vegas become liberal?
I don't know.
They
haven't missed liberal? When they've said somebody has so many odds to become president. They haven't missed yet in over 40 years or something like that.
I lived in Vegas for a year to the day.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how they became liberal. I mean, this is mafia territory, and I never met a liberal mafia ever. I'm just confused, man. I was like, how does this happen?
Probably illegal immigration would be my guess.
Yeah, that's like New Mexico. I cannot understand how New Mexico is so blue. I mean, it's a Western state. I can understand California because, the far West Coast states are screwed. But what's that, Chris? I got friends all up and down from California all the way up to Seattle, even into Vancouver and all. It's just, man, they got a weird mentality of thinking. And I noticed all my friends in Seattle have changed the way they are thinking now. Yes, after all that stupid shit and taking over and burning courthouses, taking over blocks and going stupid and giving outrageous minimum wage wages so all the companies moved out of your town. I mean, I think the Seattle people learned some lessons up there. Because when you go to the extreme, you go to extreme. It is. West Coast is messed up, but you never know. If it keeps up like this, California may see a Republican governor. That'll change things significantly. And if it's a good one and he stays in there and can get another one.
Wasn't there rumor that supposedly...
Or if Trump wins and California has a hissy fit and tries to secede, the federal government will just take it back and it'll become...
You can't see the whole thing.
It'll become right.
Yes, we...
wasn't the governor undercover Republican?
No, he was a straight up Republican.
Ooh, Jordan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's straight. He is. He was. They were trying to get something passed so he could run for president, but you got to be natural born. And technically, Kamala is technically natural born, barely. I mean, she wasn't raised in the United States, so she's a Canuck. And she's got a Canadian Hindu attitude, which I don't know how that's going to work as president of the United States. So wait, so when Putin launches a nuke and wipes out New York, she's going to go pray and then decide what she's... Look, people, y'all better get this shit straight. We're all fixing to die here. I'm getting scared. No, these are serious questions because, as a Hindu, can you separate religion and state?
She's gonna be unburdened by the burdens of the past.
Is she Hindu?
You're supposed to separate, according to our charter, separate the church from the state.
That's why Jews can't be presidents, because they can never separate church and state. Their religion always comes first.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They want So can a Hindu be that way? I mean, their religion always comes first too. I don't know, guys. We may be screwing up here. Is she going to pray to somebody when somebody starts dropping nukes on us? You can't exactly do that. You gotta.
But the good news is, according to Vegas, they don't have any odds on Harris because she hasn't chosen a running mate yet. But Trump is at 4-5, and then another. This is from Vegas Insider. Another report on the same page says that Sports Handle, I guess it's a magazine or .com, Sports Handle election odds tracker has Trump at a 62% probability of winning the presidential race.
That's good 62%. To hear.
62%. That's pretty high.
Well, because that's another thing we were talking about at the beginning of the show. I mean, so when Joe was running, Kamala was so far back it was funny. And we had talked about it on the show. I mean, she was back as far as 17 points. So from the time she was announced,
she was debates either.
No, so she gained 24 points because they said she's going to run for president. So all of a sudden, everybody thought she was going to be great when everybody thought she was going to suck. Remember, people, when she tried to run for president against Joe Biden, everybody, don't forget this, she got 2% of the vote. 2%.
Zero.
And Tulsi Gabbard put her foot so far up her ass, she's lucky she could walk. Poor Tulsi gets screwed. She'd be the best VP anybody could ask for. Nobody will give her a job, man. It's just sad.
She seems like a Marvel superhero, but like a real person.
She's got her stuff together. It's maybe she'll run for president next time around. Oh no, Carol. Oh no, Lisa. I'd worship at her feet anytime. Condi would tell. Condi got in, and you'd see a different attitude with Putin. And first day, you would see him. They'd be like, "Oh, Miss Rice, how have you been?
Give back all of Ukraine if she won."
You know what? We're gonna start, that's what you're going to hear. You'd hear. Oh, we're going to start taking our stuff out of the Ukraine. It's been a fun war, but we got to keep Kamala. And she's going to say no. But you know what we'll do? We'll rent you Kamala like we did Hong Kong from the Chinese. Keep it for 100, 200 years. And then that way they get it legitly, right? They get to keep it, and the Ukraine makes some money. It works for everybody.
Well, we have traditionally any country we've destroyed with any kind of weaponry, we've reset with like fantastic income revenues. Like Japan has like the hold on any kind of electronics. If you want to get any kind of electronics, where do you go? Well, you went to Japan. Sony Walkman, Sony TVs, Sony video players, all of that.
Well, if you want to get the good shit, that's where you went anyway.
Right. So, and we did the same thing for Vietnam. Vietnam makes a whole bunch of things that we use every day, like light bulbs. If you go through any home improvement store and look on the shelves, you'll see up on the tops where they keep the overstock. It'll say "Made in Vietnam" on almost every light bulb box that's up there. They also do a lot of our outdoor furniture, like patio sets and stuff. So, almost every country we've devastated, we've given them a boon income, and these countries are doing fantastic now, and that's why they're our friends.
Yes, and it's funny too because it had to upset Xi Jinping. He stopped over in Vietnam just recently, and they didn't cut no new deals with him, which I think he was hoping for. But they have a good lucrative contract with us right now. Why screw it up?
They have two staples of our American culture that we need all year long: outdoor furniture and light bulbs. And even if we didn't need the outdoor furniture right now, currently everybody needs light bulbs, as far as I know.
Yes, as we switch over to LEDs around the world.
I'm talking LEDs. These are LEDs.
Oh, no, as we switch around the world. Yes, because it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper being made by then. What's that, Paul? What do you mean? So wait. So you think Kamala Harris could stand up to Putin? Wait. Shut. Stop with this text and just stop. So you think, because if he's standing up, Putin's going to stand up to Xi Jinping. I mean, they have a hold my hand deal now. Yeah. Well, yes, they have a hold my hand deal now. So you really think Kamala can stand up to that? Well, I tell you what, I'll buy you a brand new home if she can. Of course, we'll probably all be dead, so I won't have to worry about it. But what do you think when Xi Jinping, when she stands up to Xi Jinping, what do you think he's going to do? You really think he's going to be scared of Kamala? No, he's just going to go build another 100 ships and say, "Screw you, bitch." No, and what do you think? She'll have to put people in place to respect her in the Pentagon, which means people who would respect her would not probably be good military people. Yes, we'd probably get screwed. As it is, Joe Biden kind of screwed us around with some of his choices in there to start off with. So I don't understand Democrats and let's weaken the military. You do understand without the military, you're just a slave to Xi Jinping. What do you think? He's going to let you be part of his country? Are you that ignorant? Because you got money,
I heard
he don't
that
care.
There's a lot of countries and a lot of Asian countries are like begging people to move there, like paying people to move there if they can prove that they can breed.
Oh yeah, you can get. I know Singapore was offering $30,000 plus the first 2 years of your wherever you live paid for. There's been a couple. I've seen a couple, but there's other besides that. There's not just Asian
there.
There's not just Asian. That's not in this. There's been some Scandinavian countries. There've been a couple of European countries. There's a few
So they're
countries
paying
out there.
people to come to their country to breed with their women.
No, bring your
No,
own
just
woman.
like yeah,
They don't care.
yeah,
You just
like,
bring whoever you want. Breed yourself.
just boost the population, no matter how.
They're trying to grow their population because people are leaving their countries because they're not, whatever popular or can't contribute enough or whatever the heck it is.
Or because you have an idiot president who opens the border for everybody.
Canada needs people
Not
to go up there and
everybody,
breed.
apparently.
At the rate Trudeau's pissing Canadians off, there's not going to be nobody up there in 5 or 6 years. Oh, don't get me started on the pink shorts. Just don't even get me started on pink shorts. I mean, don't. Oh no! What? No! You want to know why I call them pink shorts? Because this person,
He wore pink shorts.
it was breast cancer awareness month, so wear pink. So he's out there in some hot pink shorts. I mean, they're really tight shorts. And remember, this guy is the leader of Canada, in a hot pink shirt and some hot pink shoes. He looked like Barbiette, and I just can't get the image out of my head. So he's Mr. Pink Shorts. But I lost any respect I had for him that day. I know it shouldn't matter. Oh yeah, well that proves he's a man because he can wear pink. I'm a little confused by that statement, but okay. I've got pink shirts. Y'all seen me on here in pink shirts. What are you talking about? I don't think you have to be a man to wear a pink shirt. I mean, pink looks really good on women, so I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about here. Oh.
That's a
He's
color
an idiot. That's why we call him pink shorts. He's an idiot. He makes Joe Biden think shit going on. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leah.
The color pink was designated as the color of champions in the world of
Rainbow
cycling. Man. I think racing. I think some type of martial arts back in the day.
I wonder if
winter color.
I wonder if the famous Rainbow Brigade in World War I knew what their emblem would end up meaning. I feel, I think if they came back and seen that, they would they might have a little problem with it. Oh man. Oh, Bruce, if you don't know what it is, look it up. Yes, it's World War I. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure back in the beginning of racing for cyclists, whoever won the race was gifted a jersey, and the jersey was usually a combination of pink and white, or just pink.
Must have been a sponsor, whoever, or whatever group.
That was, how they have blue ribbons and red ribbons and yellow ribbons to designate first, second, and third prize. Well, pink was the color of champion.
That kind of champion? I don't know.
Yes.
What, Chris? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Only gay people wear pink.
No.
Did you not see the movie Barbie? Where were you? Well, no, actually, I haven't seen it either. But still,
I did look for Trudeau in pink shorts and then a couple other variations of that. I couldn't find the pictures you're talking about. They must have pulled from the internet. It's not. There are some pictures of him wearing a pink shirt over a tie and button down.
Yeah, they scrubbed him off there because we were putting comments up there by the freaking hundreds. It's I knew it was just a matter of time. But you know what? I have noticed that things that get pulled though sometimes recycle back.
Yeah.
Because them pictures of not Atlantis, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but those pictures off the coast of off of Cuba, those maps, they were pulled for a long time, but I noticed a lot of them are back. I find it interesting that some of them have come back now. So it's like, hey, let's get them in there. Hello there, Jules. How you doing tonight? Who in the hell? Oh, anyway, Pete, look. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Okay, I'm not. It's not what we're here for. Sean said he's voting for some sexy bitch. I'm not sure who the hell that is. Jay said he was voting for the devil guy, which I'm assuming is J.D. Vance. No, I'm voting for Kennedy, man. Go Kennedy.
What would be a nice warm welcome is if they split the tickets the way they should be. I mean, you think it should be years ago. I don't know how many years, probably the JFK administration as far back as then. But it was a two-party It was a two-ticket thing. One person went for vice president, another went for president on both sides. So they might elect the Republican president candidate, but the Democratic vice president. I think that would be much better cohesion, but one vote shouldn't put two people in the two powerful
No,
offices.
so so I know they're never going to go to where you can have a Democratic vice president with a Republican president, but I do think the vice president and the president should have to be elected. I don't think it should work
that's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. They should split them off. I mean, one vote should not put two men in power.
Because it seems like now when people pick their running mates, they're not. How can I say this nicely? Morons. I mean, today it just seems like come on. It started with Mr. Potato Head, and it seems like it's gotten worse since.
Who's Mr. Potato Head?
What's his name's running mate? The one who couldn't spell potato.
Oh, Quayle.
Yeah, Quayle. Yeah, and so it seemed to start with him and just kind of snowball since. Well, no, Nixon. Yeah, Nixon was a VP, and then Nixon was a president. Yes, and probably would have been a good president except for Watergate. I don't even know why he admitted to that shit. I'm still confused about that. Oh no, listen, Christopher. Let me tell you now. Reagan was never ever going to be in any trouble. Ollie threw herself on a sword like a pro, baby. Just, I'm sure they took good care of him for that. Oh yeah. No, there was no doubt. Nobody was because that's when you respect your commander in chief. That's what you do. No, he definitely no. They could have probably went after him if Ollie would have turned. Ollie North would have turned. They could have probably went after Reagan, but he didn't. He just threw himself on his sword, sacrificed himself for the good. I guess Nixon didn't have anybody that could do it. Nixon could have stayed in. They weren't going to get a 70 vote, just like they never do in an impeachment, but it would have just been a rough 3 years. Instead, we got, do I dare say his name, Ford? I don't even remember Ford. I don't remember anything he did or anything that went on.
Extraordinarily lackluster.
He's kind of like Carter to me.
Carter shined a little brighter because we had to turn around, hostage crisis. What was 400 and some odd days?
Yeah. Oh, and he seen a UFO over his peanut field, so that was a plus right off the bat.
And he operated nuclear engines in submarines.
That's true.
With the Navy.
Actually, Jack, we got a couple of news clips we got to get into, but so was it last week? I think the last 2 weeks we've talked about NASA finding maybe what possibly could be life on Mars. Well, they confirmed it. No ifs, ands, or doubts. Now there was life on Mars. No ifs.
Yeah, they said was, not currently.
They did say was, but by knowing that now and knowing that there's still water and atmosphere, there's still liquid water and atmosphere and heat on Mars, they're pretty sure now that they're going to find life. That's true, Jennifer. I have
Even if they find living bacteria, that is an alien life form.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember when, Viking landed and they found oxygen and they said, oh, it must have been a leak or something from the lander itself. And then the other lander landed and found some other hydrocarbon and they said, oh, they found something. They said, oh, no, it must have been on the lander. And we brought it. Come to find out, well, now we know that wasn't true. So that's two other occasions they probably found life. Now they're changing their mind on their little rock. Remember that little rock they found where at the Arctic or the Antarctic? What's it, Antarctic? I think they found it.
Antarctic.
The one they said, oh, maybe it was life, maybe it was something else. Now they're kind of changing their mind, saying it probably was life. So now it looks like they're going to try to group up everything they can find.
Well, they did say that it probably was life, but then they also backed it up by saying that the specimen in the meteorite were too old to carbon date accurately.
Yeah.
Isn't this so stupid? Like, this is so obvious that there will be life on other worlds.
Yes, but we have to. I a long time ago, we're going like 25 years ago, I made a prediction about the desensitization program. And I've talked about it on other shows many times. And the reason why they have to have it is for people like you and all four of us, we can understand that there is probably intelligent life and it may have some kind of interest in us. But for Joe Christian or Joe Muslim or Joe any religion, it doesn't really matter. they're not ready for this yet. Most of them they're just not, and there's other people really that are not ready.
Why do some people? Why do some religions think that extraterrestrials or interdimensional beings or whatever you want to call them are demons?
Well, because that's where they sell.
Some of them actually
it might be the same thing. It might just be a name for hostile beings, right? Like, who knows?
It's more than likely to keep control of the religion.
Right. Well, no, not the religion, the population. So that's the two things they're afraid of. Is one, some of the religions know the whole truth. They don't want you to find that out. A, and B, it would take away their control over their crowds of worshipers.
Yes, because when you say for thousands of years that we're it, and then oh shit, we're not.
All of a sudden, boom! Here comes
a lot of questions. So the Catholics were smart about this. About 4 or 5 decades ago, they came out and said that there probably is life other than us. And then they went one step further. I met Monsignor Balducci in Washington D.C., and he told me Paula Harris did the translation. He told me that not only do they know about him, that they consider the Vatican, by the way, this is his words, that the Vatican considers him to be on a higher evolutionary and spiritual plane than man is. And that when it came to matters of religion, we should defer to them. That's a quote. So this guy is way the hell up in the Vatican. So I'm kind of like, first off, I was even amazed he talked to me, but it was to me, it was the first time that I ever heard anybody in the Vatican say that. And then about a year later, I met the Vatican astronomer, and he backed up everything that Father Balducci, Monsignor Balducci said. And about 2 years after that, I met another one of the astronomers, along with one of the bishops, who also said the same thing. He said the Vatican has to come forward because sooner or later, some things will be back traced to them. There's just no way out on some of the stuff. As it grows, some of it will come back to them. Because when you see a lot of the ancient pictures, like in the 1500s and Middle Ages, you see these spaceships sailing across. I mean, these are religious pictures. I mean, these aren't.
The Catholic Church has 2,000 years of archives and records.
Like
they know.
The Pope also said about aliens when he was asked, and this, I don't know the exact quote, but this came out of the Pope, the highest authority, right?
Yeah, they are all God's children, is what he said.
He said they were God's children. Exactly right. He said, why couldn't they be also created by our God?
Because they probably are.
Regardless of whether they're on a higher plane or not, they're
it's Pope John Paul II.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's.
So does that make us brothers and sisters?
Well, he didn't deny it. He didn't deny it. He just said that they're all God's children.
Because eventually they're going to have to answer for this, but not anytime soon. Because there's a lot of things got to happen first.
Yeah.
One, or the next thing that really will happen is we'll probably find some like plant or something growing on the ground, maybe even a little mouse or some kind of shit. We'll find bacteria first, but we'll find all of these things. And then man can go, wow, that's kind of cool. Because, we did see that thing where it was on Europa, that thing swimming underneath the ice. Obviously, that was something. Even NASA was kind of like, you see the guy's face in NASA when the thing went, everybody's face was like, what the? Everybody's like, well, there's something obviously there. It wasn't a piece of rock or ice. That was crazy.
It was the clouds operating amidst the.
Well, you know what? NASA has never gave an effect
that looked like a mirage.
Yeah, well, NASA's never gave a formal opinion on it ever. They just, and Milan didn't either. Well, Christopher, JPL gets the pictures. JPL and Milan do the pictures, and they just rush through them. That's why people find so much shit on the internet with them, because they rush through. And NASA gets what JPL and Milan thinks are interesting. So those pictures go to them, but everything else gets just smashed. You'd be surprised how much of that stuff is just tossed to the internet, and people are finding things on the internet. And in some ways, I don't think they mind, because if they didn't see something over the initial scan, they know it's not anything going to be anything major. There was just a new pyramid somebody put up. It was a pretty good one too, but we won't know any of that until we go. But things like this will help our governments, world governments, decide to go. If not, Elon's going. Elon's like, screw y'all. Y'all don't want to go. I'm going to Mars. He's like, I think. And Jeff Bezos says, you know what, Elon, I'm going with you, buddy. We're all going to Mars. So, what's that, Chris? Well, no, I mean Mars is the next step. It's. What do you mean we're skipping the moon? We're not going to skip the moon. We're going to do both.
We've already been there, but yeah, there are plans. 2026,
Japan,
I think we're going.
Yeah, well, Japan's asking for clearances to build a hotel on the moon. Both Russia and China want to put something on the moon, and the U.S. is not going to let them put something on the moon without us putting something on the moon. So the moon's going to start getting crowded. See, but I think there should be a rule: nothing on the light side of the moon, everything on the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, I don't want to
say it's not really the dark side of the moon, but everything on the other side of the moon. Well, we can't see it.
That would be the dark side.
Yeah,
but it's not always dark.
Yeah, it's not always dark. That's just that's a whole lie.
According to Pink Floyd, it's always
only what's her name? OAC or what's her name?
Oh yeah, well of course she thinks you can flip the sun on and off, so we're not even ready. So Peter, you in the room? So look, Pete, this is what you were talking about. So a couple weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago, AOC was giving a lecture in Brooklyn, and she said, and they were talking about solar energy and stuff like that, and she said, well, I just don't understand why they just don't work on the sun when it's off at night. Now, I thought this was a prank the first time I heard this. Okay, I really did. So I went and found the clip, and it was not a prank. I was like, you got to bleeping kid me. And since then, I have heard 3 or 4 other dozen goofy girls say the same thing. I'm thinking, this is supposed to be a college graduate, no less. Okay, she's supposed to have gone to college. How can you not know how the sun works and got into college or even made it through college? I mean, come on. You made it out of 5th grade. You should know how the freaking sun works. And you know what? I think Kamala thought she was telling the truth. Because when Kamala was asked about what AOC said, she kind of looked like, yeah, why don't they? And then she just didn't say anything. I was like, no way, don't say that, girl, please.
Hey, what's the old phrase they say? Stupid hurts, but it'll learn you. Some of these people don't seem to have learned.
Well, I guess because you don't see the sun at night, you think it's off.
They just turn it off, Joe.
What do they think's lighting up the moon at night? I mean, I'm confused, people.
The moon lights itself.
Oh, it's got a little light bulb inside. Okay,
it turns that on.
It's a giant firefly. It goes in the dark.
People, these are the people you want to run our country. Okay, remember AOC said one day she's going to be president of the United States. I'll be dead by then, so I ain't got to worry about it. I'm not worried. I'll be gone by then. But what's that, Pete? Oh no, I'll be dead for it. And if I'm not, I'll just make sure I'm gone. So she scares me with her little goofy stuff. Well, I don't know. She's been getting challenged a lot down there in the Bronx or Brooklyn, wherever she's at. Bronx, I think. She's cute. That's why she keeps getting in. It's not like she's smart or anything. No, then people down there, oh, look how cute she is. Put her up there. We got the cutest politician. It's like a little doll toy for him or something.
Yeah, but if people are voting on someone's looks alone, we wouldn't get anywhere politically speaking.
But that's what we've been. I mean, come on. So Kamala got the job because she was a black woman. Joe Biden said that. I'm going to make a black woman vice president, and then he went and did it. Last time I checked, that was illegal to hire somebody based on skin color and sex.
Well, technically it isn't hiring because they have to get voted in, right?
But I mean, he still gave her the position to do it based on her color. I mean, he picked her because she was a woman and she was brown.
Yep.
And,
but
no one else was considered. They had to be a woman and brown.
For all my brown women friends out there, do you really think that she was the best that he could pick from? Really? Man, why don't you ask Sodom or to be? I mean, Supreme Court judge. She's a tough bitch. She don't play.
What if he had chosen Kennedy instead?
Kennedy can't be because he can't speak. Unfortunately, in the United States,
she can't either.
Yeah, but she can still like, oh yeah, how Kamala Harris, man. Where's the bourbon?
Right? Yeah.
No, the bourbon, man. No, you said there was going to be bourbon, man. Before I start talking to these. Oh, is the mic on? I'm sorry. Oh, hi, hi. Don't give me. I'm going to shoot myself. That she is the laughing jackass. She will be the laughing jackass whether she gets into presidency or not. She is just the laughing jackass. Don't whoever said that. I'm not being disrespectful. Okay, is she not laughing? Does she not laugh all the time? Come on, now, don't lie. You know she
She
laughs all
giggles
the time.
off almost every unpleasant question that is.
Oh, you're offended because I called it jackass. What emblem does it represent the Democrats? The jackass, my friend. So she's a laughing jackass. She's a laughing Democrat, which makes her a laughing jackass. I
Yeah,
can't help it.
why
You
a
know what your own
donkey? I don't
freaking
understand the
because donkeys
symbology.
have long memories.
Oh.
And actually, jackasses are mean critters that are very protective.
And they tend to
make
kick
good
real hard.
watchdogs too, and they make good watchdogs too. Them suckers are mean as shit. You want to keep your yard safe? Put a gaggling goose out there, man. You'll be safe. Them vicious creatures. Yeah, everybody say, "Look how cute the goose is," until the goose comes. I love watching people run from it. It's funny as hell. No, but anyway, getting back to the Mars thing. I know we got sidetracked, but so you really want the world to be ready for Mars, of life anyway. So you find some life on Mars, and maybe find it somewhere else out in the solar system, and you're like, "Wow,
It's
this
terrifying.
is cool." No. You just find some life. You just regular old life. Nothing scary. We don't want nothing scary. And then you may find some other life, still not scary stuff. You know, oh look, we're finding stuff, and then you find an artifact. Nothing big at first. Maybe a cog, maybe some kind of weird plaque.
Intelligent life.
Something that says, "Hey, it's not ours." At one time, millions and millions and millions of years ago, there was life here. And then later on, you find another artifact, and then you find, a whole little village. And we already know they're on Mars because they've been videotaped enough times that people know they're there. It's like when we found what we found down in South America. So you find that, but look, remember, this is still just an old abandoned town, been there for God knows 50 million years, 5 million years. Nobody really knows. They're trying to figure out how long it is, but regardless, we know it's been a long, 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 long time. So it's still no threat to mankind. So man can get adjusted to the fact that not only is there life in our solar system, but at one time there was probably other intelligent life in our solar system. But yet we're still here in one piece, so it must have not been really hostile.
Possibly even 3 or 4 planets worth of intelligent advanced
been.
life.
It probably was at one time. It was probably Earth, Venus, Mars, and whatever the 5th planet was. They probably all had life on them until whatever catastrophe happened and wiped everything to shit and back.
Whatever invaded the inner planets and caused all this mayhem, yeah.
Maybe Nereblu crashed into Planet 5. Who knows? No, guys, I'm just teasing. I'm not trying to mess with the Nereblu stuff. I was just kidding.
The story goes in one of the stories anyway that a moon of Nibiru hit Tiamat, which is the 5th planet, and broke it into pieces. And then from that devastation, like a shotgun blast of debris was sent into the other inner planets, Mars next, Earth, etc. And then that's what caused some of the damage to Mars as well. It took the atmosphere away, took the water away, and put that big gouge that's like a lightning strike along the one side of it.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a planet mountain range from a planet just being drug across the top of the other planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a granite mountain range or something.
Or another planet being so close that the gravitational forces ripped that part of the planet open.
Could have been that too. What do you mean? Well, regardless, that's all gone now. It doesn't really matter. You mean Planet X? Okay, well, first off, Planet X was Pluto. That's what it was originally named, Planet X, just so you know that, because you always run around that. Pluto's not a planet anymore. Even though we do think there's some planets out there in the Oort cloud, which we're going to find, big ice ball planets, but we do think there's some planet-sized ones out there. Maybe we'll find them. As far as Nerebru goes, there hasn't been any proof of Nerebru in at least 10,000 years.
And it's supposed to come through every 3,600 years.
So,
is
the
it
Chinese
Nerebru or Nibiru?
Nibiru.
Yeah, however you want to call it. I've heard it pronounced about 9 different ways. Regardless, there's 2 societies on a planet that have been doing astronomy for at least 5,000, 6,000 years. So they would have seen it because it would have been massive and it would have destroyed our planet, really, because anything 5 times the size of Earth passing near to Earth, well, I hate to tell you what would happen. We'd look like, Planet 5. Yeah, we couldn't
And
take the tidal forces.
there are also stories of the days before the moon, when there were no cycle changes in the atmospheres, no seasons, no tide. And then after that, boom, the moon appears and we have seasonal weather across the planet, regular in and out tides, and a regulated planet.
Yeah, I don't know if it appeared, if it just got ripped off, but we'll have to wait and see about all of that. Oh yeah, it is. The core is spinning backwards. Well, we're all still on a planet.
So we're like a gyroscope. We're sitting on a gyroscope.
They think it does. It's done it before. We're not been scientists for very long in the grand scheme of the universe. I mean, man's only 2 million years old, and out of that, we've only been intelligent for 100,000 years or so, maybe, depending on whose book you want to go by.
If you believe the stories.
Yeah. if you believe like the stories of the planets, the cities before Sumeria and all, yeah, then we're probably about 200,000 years old. But other than that, no. Well, I think some of this stuff was stretched because when they talk about things, they talk about cataclysms. Well, the Ice Age, the end of the last Ice Age was 12,500 years ago.
Yeah, the Younger Dryas.
Yeah, but there's things they talk about prior to that was in that frame, but there's also things they talk about that was prior to that Ice Age, or at least that part of the Ice Age. And remember, Ice Age recedes at different times at different speeds in different places. So if you're somewhere 30 degrees above the equator, 40 degrees above the equator, you only seen the Ice Age for a very short amount of time because it's very warm there, so it receded at a faster rate. But when it got up into the United States and places like that around those things, it was probably much slower recession. Probably took longer. And judging from like the Mississippi River and things like that, it did take longer. Yeah, that's all caused by glaciers, people. No, I don't think glaciers are feeding anymore. The Great Lakes feed it. Yeah. There's water cycles all through there. The Ohio River comes through. There's all kind of stuff cycling up and through there. Jimmy, what do you mean? Would I go to Mars? Jesus, you gotta be stupid, man. I'd be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I would too. Well, on the auspices that I could come back if I wanted.
Well, I would go. I want 20% of everything.
Yeah.
Everything we find, anything I'm involved in, we find. Because first thing I'm going looking for that rock that's worth more than anything anybody ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So not only would I be rich, but the next 100 generations of my family would be. Bill Gates and them think they had money. You can combine all the money in the world, they wouldn't have nothing compared to that. It's literally worth, I think they said 100 times the entire worth of everything on the planet, including the estimated worth of the planet itself.
Yeah, which means there's stuff under the earth we're not even sure it's under there.
And I don't even know if there's actually a number for that, and it's still worth 100 million times whatever it is. It's a ridiculous. And it's not the only one out there. That nickel iron asteroid they found was worth $500 billion, and it's not even that big. It could be hauled in and mined and sent back to Earth. Eventually they'll get there. Give them another 50 years. They'll be out there doing it. Elon's kids will be out there doing it. Yeah.
We don't even have to bring it back to Earth. We can just bring it to the moon and put a cycling factory there and process the ores there and then send them to Earth.
Well, I think they're going to process them on Mars because they need to raise the pressure. So they need to cause a greenhouse effect. So by cycling them on Mars, because some of that's going to seep off anyway, it'll help raise the temperature and the pressure eventually. Because one of the NASA's always big projects they wanted to be was they called them carbon trucks, and they just were big things the size of buildings that just scooped up dirt and burnt it and sent it into the atmosphere. That's all it did. It just was there to create carbon and thicken the atmosphere. They said within less than 25 years, with 5 of them, they could thicken the atmosphere enough that all you would have to do is wear a breathing mask. It would be thick enough that the sun's radiation wouldn't bother you, and it would raise the pressure high enough that you wouldn't have to wear a suit. Because it's not just people. It's not just about oxygen on Mars. Right now, the way the pressure's there, we'd have to wear a suit. Yeah, so we want to be on Mars without a suit. And by thickening up the atmosphere like that, it raises the temperature. So you're not going to always have to be wearing, heavy clothes and stuff. It changes a lot. Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
it pollutes the whole planet. Yes, it does.
Yeah, like in Total Recall, when they get shot out of the pyramid mine, Arnold Schwarzenegger and the female actress and the other guy that gets shot out, they start exploding. I don't know if it's that slow or gross or painful, but you die almost instantly, I would think.
Oh, if you get exposed to space, you die instantly. You implode.
No, I'm talking about the atmosphere on Mars.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't think it's as slow as the movie portrayed it to be.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, but yeah, we can change all of that. Yes, we can. Actually, we got a couple of links to do, and then we'll probably take a break, and then we got to come back and polls. Oh, are y'all nervous about the polls tonight, people? Ooh. I love Kamala. Long live Zeke Kamala. No, Zeke Heil. You don't know what Zeke Heil means? Come on, people. You should know Putin said that's the reason he invaded Ukraine, because of Zeke Heil.
He's looking for
Nazis. Yeah. No, he's looking for Nazis. I laughed the first time I heard it. I'm laughing again right now, even though you can't see me. Because you just gotta wonder. No, you gotta wonder. I mean, well, first off, why couldn't what's his face take care of his own Nazi problem? Why didn't Putin say, "Hey, why don't you let us give you some help?"
I mean, think about it. If there's any Nazis alive still and hiding in Ukraine, they're at least 90 to 100 years old or approaching it. They're not going to be around much longer.
So the Ukrainians, while we're on the subject, has gotten a boost to their fleet. They got a couple new ships, and they've got a couple of new drone ships, and I don't know who's giving them Navy ships. I know it's not us. We can't afford to give away no Navy ships at the moment. So, what's that, Christopher? We do have a fleet deployed near China, and actually we're stepping up our deployment. But China outnumbers, I think we're at like 310 ships. I think they're like almost 400. Well, say thank you, Joe Biden. Trump wanted to add another 120 ships to the fleet. Well, we need to. It's not just about America. I mean, we have allies over there and all too. Mm-hmm. But our fleet needs to be up there. Well, our fleet's more advanced. That's why it needs to be up there.
The only other chance we have to increase the fleet would be for the Senate to declare war, at which point the United States Coast Guard becomes attached to the Navy, and then they would become not only shore patrol, but they would go into combat arenas.
Well, our fleet, we do have, 11 aircraft carriers. But you don't know how many you're going to lose in a battle, and how many people would sacrifice themselves with a nuke to take one out. Well, it's easier to take down a missile than to take down a jet. Because you can shoot a jet to pieces and it may still hit the target carrying the missile that you weren't able to get to because it was inside the jet.
Well, a jet's also piloted by a human intelligence that go, oh, crap, I better turn. Whereas a missile goes, oh, there's my target, there's my target, there's my target. I don't see that other missile. There's my target. Boom, I'm dead. So this is a dumb thing.
Well, no, we're deploying ships to the Middle East, too. We're deploying fleets all over the place.
We've already had ships in the Middle East.
We're deploying more, yeah.
We've been shooting down.
Well, we're over there teaching the world. Us and the Ukrainians are teaching the world how to fight a drone war. We all knew a drone war was coming. We used to talk about this way back when, how we were going to be fighting wars with drones and stuff. I'm just waiting for the big, robot guys still. I know we've built one or two of them. I'd like to see them out there, fighting.
Like in the Terminator?
They're kind of like the Terminator. Yeah, they have these big things that guys get into. They're like 12, 12, 12,
Are you talking about the Brotherhood?
It's more like Iron Man.
From Fallout?
These are like Iron Man on steroids.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're like Iron Man on steroids. Pentagon deploys ships, fighters, and boosts Middle East presence again. I need to get rid of that. What we got here? Jason Clarenson, Kamala Harris has no chance of being next president. Ooh, that's big words,
What platform are you reading these comments off of?
This is actually, you can see the actual comments on our webpage, but this is ones that I when I put them up on our page, I kept them myself. But this is off of, where am I at? I am not on Yahoo. Where the hell am I? Let me tell you. Here, let me open a new page. I am on, I think I'm on Microsoft actually. See, right now, if I'm reading off of Microsoft, this one's Biden's made a notorious bet on the wrong horse, whatever that means. I have to go read the whole article. Science discovered an underground cave on the moon where astronauts could live. How y'all like that one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What's next on here? And then Supreme Court gives Donald Trump a few $1,000s.
A few?
I don't
For what?
want to know. I don't even want to know what it is. It'll probably be something that aggravates me. U.S. Defense Secretary rejects plea deal for 9/11 mastermind, puts death penalty back on table. Why? And why would you be letting this fucking asshole live? What is wrong
Why
with
is
you
he still
people?
alive? Period.
Who?
Yes, why isn't he dead? This is the guy who masterminded 9/11. Well, we already killed the guy who gave him the money, so why haven't we killed this guy?
Are you talking about the guy that took out the insurance?
No, this is the guy who put the 9/11, the destroying of the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
This is the guy who put it together.
Yeah, wasn't there like some businessman who like took out an insurance policy on the building just like a few months prior?
No, this isn't what this is. This is the guy who lives in the Middle East. He's part of one of the terrorist groups. This is the guy who got the weapons together, showed them how they were going to do it, how they were going to infiltrate, how they were going to learn how to be pilots. That's what this guy was doing.
Was this Khalid Sheikh Mohammed?
You know what? I moved off the page, but it might have been. Let me go back and see. Let's see. What is this? Oh, let's go. Where was I? Let's see. Let's go see. Let's go see who it was.
Who was this person that took out the insurance policy on the building? Like,
I would have to look it up and see.
He was definitely investigated. That's for sure.
Why wouldn't I get a name here? What's going on with this? For Brigadier General Susan K. Yeah, whatever.
I think he was a businessman from Israel.
He should be in prison.
Or I don't know.
Why are they not putting his name on here? I don't understand why they haven't put his name up. They give me 5 tons of other. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me go back. Australian National 9/11. He's called U.S. plea deal victory for 9/11 plotters. Mohammed has been jailed at Guantanamo prison.
Yeah, the guy should have been executed 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They should just execute him by release in Central Park.
Yeah.
They really should. They really should.
And then just give people a chance to line up with baseball bats.
They could pull a Bruce Willis on him, give him a sandwich board sign with hateful words against Americans in his underwear, and make him walk down the middle of Harlem. He wouldn't last 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. We got here. Putin moves air defense systems closer to the front line after learning the arrival of F-16s in Ukraine. Well, Ukraine has been blowing shit up deep inside. So the Ukrainian has showed that the Russians' air defense is shit. I mean, they're blowing up shit deep inside, good ways inside of Russia right now. The Pentagon was actually worried about it because it's not even our weapons.
Well, they're worried about an escalation. Absolutely.
Well, no, because they're worried about it because we're just embarrassing of all people, a freaking comedian is embarrassing Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, but they shot down one of our global hawks. The Russians aren't messing around anymore. And you know what? It deserved to get shot down.
What did it do?
Well, the Ukrainians used ATACMS missiles, and one of them went off course and killed a bunch of Russian civilians in Sevastopol on the beach. So the Russians are like, we're not playing anymore. If we see any U.S. assets flying anywhere over the Black Sea, we're shooting them down. And they did.
No, that's what they should do. But the problem is they're missing all kind of stuff. According to U.S. generals, for every 15 things they fly in, they get 1. It's that's just.
When's the economy gonna just go to hell because of all of this?
Well, they just said there's economy's overheating right now. So remember, they were in a wartime economy. So wartime economies spend a lot of money because you need a lot of things to keep troops on the ground and stuff.
And very little of it is spent on things that the civilians need.
So right now, it's about to overheat. So they're going to find themselves in a pretty bad recession over the next 4 or 5 years, probably starting this year. If Trump gets back in, he'll make it happen immediately. Because Trump knows what to go after, but Kamala's not. Kamala's not even going to worry about Russia. She's going to be like, Russia? What's Russia? You mean the Soviet Union? Is that what we're talking about? I can hear her now.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I was watching 2010 Space Odyssey the other night, and that's what they're talking about, the Soviet Union. I'm like, really? I said, y'all weren't in foresight here, were you not? Let's see.
Isn't it 2001? Is 2010?
That was 2010, yeah. The second one.
The year we made contact. Yeah, it's Space Odyssey 2. Or
Yeah.
2002.
Oh.
NASA Perseverance rover makes game-changing discovery on Mars. Well, we've already talked about that. That'd be cool. No, that's life.
Uh-uh.
That's when they find life.
Maybe they'll find life in that cave on the moon.
White House responds claim to Joe Biden wandering around off tarmac. I could see that. I could see that. I really could.
Did they mean to say tarmac or off his meds?
Probably both.
Yeah.
Did you hear the supposed conspiracy that he was replaced with somebody 6 inches taller than him?
Yeah, there's a couple people said that because on some video he's taller than the person next to him, and on the earlier video he was shorter.
And
they
he had no problem walking up and down.
They could be putting an apple box under him that you don't see from the camera, like behind a podium that he steps on.
That could be.
China sends ships to North Pacific in a major power move. China, get your raggedy, crappy boats out here. These things ain't even. If your quality control is even half as bad as it is for everything else, you're damn in deep shit. This fighter jet makes up almost half of the Navy's aircraft. I would say it was the F-18 Hornet. I wonder if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Let's see. Does it say? Yep, the FAA-18E Super Hornet. I knew it was no Hornet. They need to retire the damn thing is old. Come on, man. I was working. You know how long it's been since I've been in the Navy? Don't get me wrong. They were beastified jets. I don't want to hate on them, but they're old. It's time to retire their asses. What happened to the F-22s that were going to?
Build more F-22s.
You know, that's what was supposed to be going to the Navy. The Air Force and everybody else was supposed to get them crappy F-35s.
Well, but if they're not building any more F-22s, they must, besides the F-35, they must have something else coming out very, very soon.
Wait, what is this? Hold
on.
A
spaceship. Like a real one.
A multi-atmosphere fighter jet, yeah.
It goes light speed.
When they can swim, go through space, and...
So wait, let's see if we can play this right quick. It'll be fine, Joe.
It'll be an exotic.
Let's see.
It'll be a speeder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it won't let me do it. I have to do it a different way. Damn it. Just no. Don't go out of there. Boy, I almost effed up. Cancel. Okay, let me go find the thing. I guess it's on oh, that's why. It's not on Google. It's not on Google. I don't know why these things get so proprietary about stuff. It's really irritating sometimes.
It's because of the programming they use for those search engines.
You know, I mean, let's see. Let's get all this other stuff out the way. What's that, Bruce? Sean said he's voting for Kamala. Oh, yeah, he's voting for Kamala. Somebody, his wife told me, you don't vote for Kamala, you're sleeping on the porch. I don't know what to tell you.
There is no way. There is no way in God's holy
The porch is looking good, man.
Is that common?
I would vote for a turd on a stick before I voted for Kamala Harris.
Roger Mapplethorpe actually made some artwork that was similar to that's actually for sale on the internet.
All right, let's see if this thing's audio, video, what the hell this thing is. Go back to our StreamYard. Okay, everything looks good. Itchy sinuses.
It's time for Seen and Unseen, where we reveal the stories behind the headlines. For that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. All right, Raymond, Biden made a surprise public appearance today. Yay.
Yes, and naturally, Laura, back to form, he battled the teleprompter to announce the return of hostages from Russia before taking his own hostage.
All the cases of hostages being wrongfully detained, which were inherently, well, we inherit them from the prior administration, the 13th birthday.
Oh my God. Well,
you all know we have a tradition in the Biden family. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
Creepy.
Birthday to you.
all right, somebody put a gun. Where's the gun?
Guys, you're 30.
Good Lord. And remember, no presidential runs after 80,
This
Laura.
is what we were here
That was
for,
the
yes.
other message he forgot to mention there. You know, there really should be a restraining order against Biden anytime there's a woman under 30 within eyesight, because inevitably he has to
I like this
reach
guy.
out and touch them and
Well,
sniff them.
couldn't he have just waved? Can't we? Remember the tape from COVID? We need social distancing permanently for Joe Biden and anyone under the age of 30. But not 13, but 30.
But you know, Laura, whatever Biden has, it seems Kamala Harris has caught it as well. She can't read the teleprompter either. Here she is offering a eulogy today and giving herself a promotion.
Sheila Jackson Lee was the first elected to the United States Congress 30 years ago this year. She was first elected 30 years ago this year.
Oh,
Yo, we got a commercial. What the hell was that?
yeah, we're obsessed with Olay.
United States Senator, I was proud to co-sponsor, and then as vice president, it was my honor with the president.
She is drunk.
She is
Oh my
lit.
God, she is.
By the way,
Lit.
the
Why not
person she
presidency?
was
You know,
honoring
you can't blame a girl for trying.
classified
She didn't
said
have
that
to
the
win the
moon
night.
was a gas.
The moon is a gas.
Yes.
Oh my
Like
God.
Sheila
Oh my
Jackson
God.
Brown. Yeah.
She is
The moon
drunk
is a
there.
gas.
I mean,
Who is that? Who's Sheila Jackson Brown?
I think she died recently. It was probably like a funeral, but she used to be she was a congresswoman who said the moon was a gas.
what was that, Peter? No, I'm pretty sure Kamala was toasty there. That's going to be Kamala's biggest problem between now and election time, staying sober. I think she's an alcoholic. And I think
If
she's
she's
got a
been
problem.
anywhere near a plane, a train, or
I have not seen her give a thing sober yet.
Yeah.
I've actually been looking. I haven't seen her give anything sober. Somebody needs to make a thing of it and say, look, she's wiped out every time.
We should do a FOIA request for her, bar tabs driving through all the government vehicles she's been in. I know they have liquor on almost all of those machines, like the boats and the planes and helicopters. They have liquor for those people.
Well, yeah, they usually do. I mean,
Yeah.
she's.
I want to see her bill. I'll bet you it's well over a couple $1,000 already, maybe even like 10 or 15.
I don't know, but she scares me. It's and she gets in it, and she was babbling. That's what I was saying the other day. I've been listening to her. She babbles as much as Joe Biden does. She's like, it sounds like she's. Oh, I'm not going to say that out loud.
Stumbles on her words.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say out loud. Just oh man. But anyway, it just sounds like she's eating some potato chips.
Who was the last drunk president we had? Nixon?
No, Nixon. It wasn't Nixon.
Reagan, the Bushes, yeah.
It's Reagan towards the end of his term. Reagan wasn't a big drinker to the end of his. I don't even know if it was drinking today. I think it was more like meds, to be honest with you.
I think they were medding him up.
What's that? Actually, Nixon was a good president. The only thing he got in trouble for was that stupid Watergate. Other than that, he was a guy who arranged the first space meeting in space. He did all kind of first. He just, got stupid. Yeah, that's all it was. He got stupid. He erased them tapes. He shouldn't have erased it. We shouldn't have erased them. Or he just should have said, I don't know how they got erased, and left it at that and let Congress argue about it. But he didn't, so that's what happens sometimes when you're stupid. No, he did a lot of firsts. That's what I'm saying. He did a lot of firsts. It's just, he was not.
He was the first president to be impeached.
He was,
Wasn't he?
No, he didn't. He resigned.
Well, no, but he still was impeached.
Well, no, I don't think he was the first though. I'd have to look and see. He
Yeah,
might have
wasn't
been.
it Johnson? Like the
Yeah,
first Johnson?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think he was.
Like the successor to
Google,
Lincoln.
who was the first president to be impeached?
It's
On the website USA.gov, they say the presidents impeached by the House were Andrew Johnson in 1868, William Jefferson, Bill Clinton in 1998, Donald John Trump in 2019 and 2021.
Oh, so Nixon wasn't impeached. He just stepped down because he was going to be impeached.
He didn't even get impeached.
What a dumbass! Why did he step? Anyway, which old news. Not to worry about that kind of stuff. Today, that would have never flown.
Well, probably because they would have tried to put him in prison. That's why.
Well, no, they were going to never get a 70. You got to get 2/3 of Congress for an impeachment. They were going to get that. The Republicans were in control. I never did understand why he did that. It was just one of them things. I guess it was so blatant. He just did it, because I guess they wanted Ford to be. Oh my God, why would they?
Well, yeah, I mean, he did it because he wanted to make sure he was going to be elected the next, season. But
I don't know. It was stupid, is what it was. But sometimes that's what happens. You get out there and you do something stupid, and then you got to give up your job because you did something stupid.
It's like I said earlier, stupid hurts, but it'll learn you.
or he was set up. It
could have been he was set up. Yeah.
I think the CIA wanted him.
It was probably something he said to get. Yeah, probably wanted something to get him out of there over.
Yeah, there's some speculation that his interactions with what's his name, the actor director, showing him some of the UFO stuff they had may have been a factor in him getting, caught, red-handed, as it were.
What we got?
That's Jackie Gleason, right?
Yeah, Jackie Gleason. Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, Jackie. Boy, he got big into them for a while. Oh, I can't believe my buddy. Steven Tyler's going to retire finally.
Oh, from Aerosmith?
Yeah, something with his voice. He had some kind of accident with his voice. He's going to retire.
He's been having trouble with that the last years anyway.
U.S. to start building more jets and boosting their self in the Middle East. What about effing
what kind of jets? F-35s or?
I don't know what they're going to build. They sometimes
F-22s.
The Navy been bitching about new jets. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I think the Navy's trying to wait for the new sixth generation, but they still need to. It's not that those damn F-18s ain't bad, but I mean, against a stealth jet, I mean, they're just.
We still need a conflict to test these F-22s out. We need.
Let's see. Pentagon reveals new nuclear weapon strategy over Russia and China threat.
What, calling buddy Elon and have him send his satellites?
We love you long time, Mr. Ping. Yes, what you want, we give you. We don't want to get bombed. Oh, you can't say that to him. That is so wrong out there, people. What is this? The Central Community for Communists is up and they're modernizing their stuff. But and most people don't know this, but China doesn't really have anything deployed. The United States and Russia does. China's going to deploy.
We've had stuff deployed since the end of World War II. We've got troops and bases all over Europe. We're deployed as shit everywhere.
Yeah, and China's not really deployed, but they were talking about actually physical nuclear weapons that were deployed. Currently, China's not supposed to have any. Now, the United States and Russia both have about 2,500 of their arsenal out. Each of us have around 5,000 something nukes, and each of us have about 20-something hundred deployed. At one time, Russia was up to like 17 or 18,000, and we were up to like 15,000.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous the amount of nukes. Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount of nukes we had. And I still don't, I've never seen no proof that says that they're all gone, but.
True, but also on the same token, having those 17,000 devices means billions and billions of dollars every year just to maintain them so they don't, deteriorate and explode.
Yes, I think they just kept the big ones and got rid of everything else. Evidence of ancient life on Mars confirmed by NASA rover. Yes, we talked about that, people. But I'm glad to see we sent that again. What is this? Mainstream media facing increasing questions over Kamala Harris coverage. Shit. Damn it. All right, my brain's just not going to take this word. This is an easy damn word, too. Dereliction of duty.
Here's the headline on the screen.
No, it's total dereliction of duty is what it says. And for some reason, I read it earlier. That's the bad part. Because the media is just all but kissing her, you know what, not saying anything bad about her. See, that's the thing. The media.
If you watch most of the news medias, they're bad mouthing Trump and not bad mouthing her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. ABC, NBC, CNN, CBS, and all of them are all sucking her butt. And even though they know she's evil, no good piece of crap, they're not saying anything bad about her. And see, normally in a 1-year election, it wouldn't matter because it would come out over the course of a year. But since this is a 2-month election, I don't know if it's going to all get out there in time. Trump's got a good lead, but I don't know.
She can gain enough speed, even if she is on the TV, 10 times as much as Trump, which would be a violation of political laws. But who cares? I don't think she has enough time to get enough votes to win the election. I don't think she would have enough in a year.
The more people see her, the more they're going to be convinced that she's an idiot.
Well, that's true, too. But that's what I'm saying. If this was a regular election cycle, after about 4 or 5 months, everybody would be like, I think we need to replace her.
I'm saying I don't think they need that much time. But I'm saying the little tidbits we just showed them, it probably ought to be enough for most people to realize.
Russia is now paying the highest cost for the Ukraine war ever. Well, Russia, we told you not to get into that shit.
What was the cost?
Yeah.
How much? How much are they out?
European think tank opinion, Harris presidency would endanger us all.
I would agree with that.
They say that along with an American U.S. think tank that does military decisions out of D.C., they had been discussed and they consider her to be a danger. She would be considered a weak president amongst all the world leaders and would just help the BRACs, the fake money they were that China and them were trying to do, because Saudi has already said if Trump becomes president, they're going to probably come back to the U.S. because their little deal with Russia and China seemed to hit a big smashing wall when Trump just basically fined them out of existence.
Well, and their economies are shit now anyway, so that's probably.
Well, Saudi Arabia's always got a good economy. They're like England.
No, not them. The China and the other.
Yeah, China and Russia are just crap holes. Well, Harris is dangerous, people. She don't know what she's doing. And I haven't even heard anybody ask that question yet. What would you do with Russia? How would you handle Ping? Let's hear it. Tell us how you would do it. I think 5 minutes in she'd be like, and Ping, and I would, and I would make sure that would, we'd get him, and we'd go over there and make sure, and we got him for sure. That would be the conversation.
Yeah, you're not going to get a solid answer out of her on that.
She's an idiot, and I just don't understand why the Democrats can't field anybody worth a shit anymore. I'm confused.
There's got to be something. Maybe their problem is that the guy's too young. If they do like, maybe he's not old enough.
They're trapped by their own ideology. That's the problem. Like what they're trying to do is they're selecting people based on immutable characteristics rather than competence. So they're just jamming people who aren't qualified, and then as a result, they have no good people, right? Whereas the Republicans actually, they don't need to do that because there's plenty of qualified people who are all sorts of.
There's actually pretty good people.
Because they don't select that way. They select by who can win and who's intelligent. Like Condoleezza Rice isn't there because she's black. She's there because she's freaking smart.
Right.
Yeah, that is, and she was smart. Trump election supervision case returned to trial judge following Supreme Court opinion. Good for you. That poor Jack, what's his name? Jack Smith, whatever his name is. Boy, he has been having just fits lately. So the DOJ decided he's going to get in on this, and so is Chuck Schumer. So this now looks like, and I'm pretty sure what they're doing is illegal. So you've got the Justice Wing, and now the, what's the wing? The, what did they call the wing that he's in? Schumer, the president, the executive wing.
Executive branch.
Trying to interfere with a Supreme Court decision. Last I checked, that was illegal in the United States. So,
well, no, we do have checks and balances. The two of them together can question the Supreme Court, just as the Supreme Court and the Senate can question the president, and the vice versa. It's the whole Dutch door action thing there.
well, so if I remember right, the only way you can even challenge the Supreme Court is if at least 3 or 4 of the justices join in. That's what people understand. The Supreme Court has carte blanche. They are final say in everything that goes on in this country. Not the Senate, not the House, not the president. They are final say. That's why they're appointed for life. So there's no real way to challenge them other than to make an amendment to the law. And getting an amendment passed, which is a 2/3 majority, is really hard to do in the United States these days. Because they want to add term limitations. Okay. Every time I hear term limitations, somebody should say, well, if we're going to do that, well, why don't we work on going ahead and getting term limitations for Congress too? Because they're just as bad as the Supreme Court is, or worse.
Well, it should be term and age. There's a retirement age. There's a time when you can work.
Yeah, you can't put age limits on it because that's age discrimination. So
why not? Mandatory retirement for us civilians at age 70.
But that's not good because Trump's 78 and he's still really good, real viable. Biden's not, but Trump is. Look at Mick Jagger. He's 81. He's out on the stage singing and dancing every night. So you can't really put that on because there are some people that can function, and we really want people like that because they've experienced the world.
Yeah, but playing music in front of a crowd.
I'm talking about Trump. Trump's 78.
No, you also talked about the Rolling Stones, but still out there playing, and they're old.
But it's still, man. Hey, you know how hard it is to remember music, and how it is to jump up and down on that stage at 81 years old.
Yeah, but
that's just showing you can do it
for 40, 50 years.
But they take off time. I mean, they just came off of like a 3 or 4 year high.
Yeah, it's a lot different running the country than playing on stage. If they make a mistake,
still, you got Donald Trump, and you've got You had Ronald Reagan. You had what's his name, the Terminator. These are all older presidents who did a damn good job. So because think of what young president. Let's just do this a different way. What young president has done a good job? This is an easy thing. So, guys and girls, y'all are listening to us right now. What young president, and we mean under the age of 60, has done a good job for this country?
They said that Kennedy did a pretty good job. He got us on the moon. He got killed for the effort, but he got us on the moon.
But what else did he do? Nothing.
Well,
almost started.
And actually, let's be honest, Kennedy didn't get us in the moon. He just got the project rolling. Other people got us on the moon, so you can't even give him credit for that. Because we didn't go to the moon for 7 or 8 years later. Yeah, but we didn't go to the moon for.
You think it would have happened within the decade if he hadn't given the challenge?
Yeah, I think it would have still happened.
Maybe 70, 71, 72, but not necessarily.
But still, it happened 9 years after he died. So it's
6 years after he died.
So it doesn't really count on. It doesn't really count on him. That's not that you can't give him credit for that. There's really not much there. And then he wanted to do a lot of stuff for like blacks and stuff. He never actually got around to it.
We're going to go after the CIA, the FBI, and the mafia.
That's what I said. There was lots of stuff he was going to do. He just never got it done.
And
I'm not hating on Kennedy because Kennedy was a war hero. So I hate hating on the man. But when he gets right down to it, he had a really good reputation. He had really good press, like most Democrats do. But as far as what he actually did, it wasn't.
Yeah, he also died a martyr. That's why.
Yeah, and that's another why he gets such a good rating. Now, Clinton was probably the best Democrat president of the last.
Clinton was very good.
He was probably in the last 50 years. And then people try to always say Obama's good. I don't know who thinks Obama's good. When I say, he had 83%, I said, really? Where the f was that at? I said, last time I seen his approval rating was 37%.
Yeah,
I'm like, where do you get these things?
He never really did much more higher than 40 at all. The whole 8 years
he was never a great president. He was young, and remember, Clinton wasn't exactly young. Clinton was 50 to 60, so he's not really a youngster like somebody who's 40 years old.
Even if Obama did achieve some good stuff, one bad thing he did was the ACA, the Obamacare, Affordable Care Act.
Well, that's the only thing he did do. That was it. He didn't do anything else.
But it doesn't work. I mean, before that, I was paying $100 a month. $100 per pay period, and afterwards it was like $150. It went up, not down. How is that affordable?
So what I seen it come out of Obama's care was catastrophic coverage. So you could get coverage for $100, $200 a month, but you had like a $6,000 deductible. If you wanted like a real deductible, $500,000, $1,500, then your insurance was going to be $500, $600, $700 a month. And that still hasn't changed with them. It's still the same thing.
And that's what health insurance is now on the markets now. I looked a few weeks ago because I got to get some and I can't. It's $800, $750 a month starting. The lowest is $757, and no one can afford it unless you're making 6-7 figures a year, $35,000, $40,000 a year. You're not paying $800 a month to keep your health going. And then if you don't, you're penalized by the IRS. That should be a crime. That should be non-constitutional.
It is unconstitutional. So
yeah, but it's still out there, and it's happening to us right now.
So I think that goes by age or something too. Actually, it's I don't know. There's a lot that goes on that shouldn't go on.
Well, a lot of times they ask you about your age, your smoking habits, and drinking habits. And if you answer yes to any of those, yeah, it goes up higher and higher.
No way, yeah. Unless you've been off cigarettes for X amount of time, and then they but it's they got you hooked on the cigarettes, and then made billions and billions and billions of dollars off of suing, and which none of the smokers got any money from, by the way. I always thought that was shitty. Like Louisiana got $24 billion back when the state had half as many people as it does now. Shouldn't that money, some of that went to the smokers? And they never helped
That's what it was supposed to be for. It was supposed to help them. But you know how governments work.
So nobody got any money out of that. And what happened?
Oh, no, there are people who got money from it. They're called politicians.
Yeah, and lawyers.
I'm talking about real people that deserve to get money.
None of the victims. Yeah. But you're right. They prescribed it in the 40s and 50s. Tobacco was literally prescribed by doctors, medical professionals too, particularly women.
It's good for anxiety. It still isn't good for
anxiety and post birth traumas and whatnots, all kinds of things.
And then the government wanted to try like hell when vapes came out to say, okay, well, because the reason cigarettes were bad for you because of the carcinogens.
Carcinogens, yeah.
I am tongue-tied tonight for some reason. And but that's what the real thing. I mean, from smoking, it wasn't so much the nicotine which got you addicted to it or sped you up or evened you out. It was because of the smoke. And then, of course, the vapes came out, and they were like, "Well, wait a minute, something's not right here. Well, it's not real smoke; it's vape, so you can't really say they're smoking." And that started another problem because people wanted to vape in restaurants, and restaurants were like, "Nah."
Oh, hey Joe, I lost. The government destroyed $2 million of my net worth because I worked at that company, Juul, and
shit, huh?
Yeah. Like I loathe. They are completely useless. You know what happens? What happened was when we started selling this stuff, it's the smoke that kills you. That has all the 7,000 carcinogens in it.
Yeah.
But look, nicotine's not good, but it's not the stuff that causes cancer is the stuff that
it comes from lighting it up.
That the vape avoids. So what ended up happening is a bunch of deranged rich kids start using this stuff, and then we're not selling it to them. We're going out of our way to card people and stuff like that, which they don't do for cigarettes. And then wealthy people, all these wealthy people start complaining to Elizabeth Warren and useless people like that. The other thing that happened is the place, and we were replacing cigarettes. We were taking them out of business because the company's mission was to convert smokers into using something that was less harmful.
Yeah, that's harmful.
And what happened is we were growing much faster in the states that had high cigarette taxes. Okay? So what really happened is these scumbag politicians saw that their revenue source was being destroyed. So they started coming after us. So in San Francisco, they banned something that is far less harmful than the cigarettes that they still sell there. They are utter, absolute scumbags, right? It's all about money. It's all about politicians are the most useless pieces of crap that exist. In fact, we had this huge program that we were going to announce to the market that it was a state-of-the-art system that would designed to prevent youth from getting this stuff. We let Scott Gottlieb's office know about it before we released it. You know what that scumbag did? That slick-haired scumbag on the board of Pfizer right now did? He said, "No, don't launch it. Don't launch it. I need to make a statement." So then he gets out and he makes this big public statement about how he's like beating up on the company, and he's like, they need to do something. And then we released it. It made it look like it was his idea, that scumbag. The guy who made people get a bunch of shots that forced the government to make people take untested shots. That piece of crap. Anyway, they kill people. They have deaths on their heads now.
Oh yeah,
there's people who are still smoking and dying.
Yeah, they don't. They came down on all kind of stuff like that, all kind of flavors and stuff, and then they tried to. I remember that's what killed me. So they banned a bunch of vape flavors, but yet you can still buy menthol cigarettes, which of course are the worst ones for you because that's a more addictive one.
Well, here's the thing: they had one company that had dominant, that they could control, and then because they targeted that one company, like the leader, it created a dozen unregulated, crazy people that they couldn't control. Like they're just stupid. They're just stupid. And now it's like a hydra. You cut off one head, and like 500 heads rise up, and then make it difficult to control. So anyway, sorry.
But that's typical federal government. That they want to do that. Chris, I was talking about that a couple of days ago. So Louisiana's thinking about with their Medicaid programs that they're going to start paying for you to go get your test, to go get your license for marijuana. And they're even talking about paying for half of the cost of the prescription because they said if it's a true prescription, then it should be covered at least partially by Medicaid. Well, and they can get it done because one's a state program, one's a federal program. Now, the federal program can't do it because marijuana is still a Schedule III drug. So I don't know if y'all understand what a Schedule III drug is. That means technically if you're caught in any federal land anywhere in this country, even with a joint, you can get 5 years. 5 years.
Joe, you know what's driving that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Money.
Well, it's more than that. So, like the alcohol industry, marijuana is also a depressant, so it's a substitute for alcohol.
Yeah.
So the alcohol lobby.
Nicotine's a depressant as well in high doses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends what you're smoking, but it says what people don't realize about marijuana.
It's a substitute. It's a competitor, and so they're just.
It's a dual competitor because
it's a cheaper, easier to produce competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it also competes with cigarettes as well because when you first smoke,
if you let's say you buy a bag of weed off the street, you buy an ounce of weed off the street. Average person who doesn't smoke, all day, every day, that bag's going to last him 2-3 weeks, maybe the whole month. And I guarantee you, some people out there who are cigarette addicted would quickly quit the habit if they could legally buy a lid of weed.
It's different. It's different because nicotine is a stimulant. It's a whole different thing.
But see, that's the thing. So marijuana,
I think you'd be more inclined to kick the habit, being the fact that marijuana is a better thing.
Marijuana is a stimulant for the first 45 minutes you smoke weed. It's a stimulant. It raises your heartbeat and your respirations. It gives you the same buzz that a cigarette, the first time you smoke a cigarette, would have, exactly the same buzz. But after that 45 minutes, weed goes back to its natural form and it becomes a downer and a depressant. And the only reason I know this is because I asked my doctor one time, because I got high blood pressure. He said, well, just remember, if you smoke it, he said, for the first however long, it's going to raise your blood pressure. And he said, and then it'll drop back down gradually. He said, that's part of the high. That's how it works. So I was like, oh, well, okay, doc, I didn't know that after 50 years, but that was cool. So it's, but I mean, it is kind of weird. So if you are smoking, what bothers me is a lot of my friends who smoke weed smoke cigarettes too. Bitches need to give one to the other one up. I'd rather them get the cigarettes, but cigarettes are far harder than weed to give up. I mean, anybody I know who's ever quit, it's tough.
I've spoken to heroin addicts who said that they found it easier to kick,
Cigarettes
things
are hard
like
to give
meth
up.
and heroin than they did cigarettes. And they were still smoking cigarettes when we were talking.
No.
They had kicked the other hard drugs.
Yeah, nicotine is like
It's a tough one.
extremely addictive.
I'm still trying. I tried, and I feel we're gonna try again starting Monday. So
It's hard to give up. It's not easy. It's a tough fight, especially if you're up to like 2 packs a day.
I actually enjoy the smoking part. I don't really care for the effects of it. You don't notice them. You smoke a joint, you notice effects right away. You smoke a cigarette, unless you like haven't smoked one in like a day or two. Like say you ran out of money, or you're in a remote location, and it takes you 2 or 3 days to get your next cigarette. That first cigarette, you'll be like high for like 3 seconds. You'll be like, oh, if you're standing, you might fall down, but that's about it. There's less benefit with tobacco. People, and I agree with this because I could quit them if they would make it recreational here in Pennsylvania. I wouldn't need to smoke cigarettes if I could legally smoke marijuana.
Well, cigarettes, I mean, it is a different kind of, in the long run, it is different. It gives you a different.
Yeah, you're muted, Sean.
Just an FYI, you can't use the terms American propaganda in a YouTube comment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it won't let you. It won't appear if you do that.
What's that, Jeffrey?
That's funny.
Well, marijuana is legal in I think 30 states now or something.
27. Recreationally legal in 27 states out of 50.
Well, I was talking about medical and
medical. I think it's like 32.
It's oh no, that's still like 18 or 20 states that you can't smoke in legally. Yeah,
there's some that are still medical only.
Yeah, and some that's
there are some that aren't even medical. It's just decriminalized. If you get caught with it, the cops make you stamp it out on the ground.
Is one of those states.
Smack you on the ass and send you home.
Texas will take your weed and your money and anything else they can get their fingers on, and don't have a lot because they'll put you in jail. And remember this, and I can't get this across to people's heads enough. I don't care if you're in California where it's completely legal, or Colorado where if you're on a national park.
You're on a federal park or federal reserve.
Yes. If you have anything that the feds run and you get caught, you're going to jail.
A park ranger can legally arrest you,
and they will too,
on a federal park.
You cannot bring marijuana into a federal. You can't bring guns in either without permission.
Here's another shocker for our listeners, especially those of you who live in America. A park ranger, on or off duty, can arrest you anywhere inside the borders of the United States of America for any crime. They have
like little mini rangers
everywhere. Man. A guy from Maine who's a park ranger on vacation in California can arrest you for smoking marijuana anywhere that's illegal. Think about that.
No, I had 2 friends in Colorado. They were just chilling. They went to go some mountain overlook and were hanging out and had 2 joints with them, and they were smoking one of them when the ranger came up and he arrested them. They got 2 years. Yeah, they got it. They ended up. The guy told him, and then when he got to the judge, he said, "Well, you're going to serve 90 days, and then you're out, and considered time served." And they were like, "No one," because 2 joints. You ended up doing 90 jails and a Fed pen for 2 joints. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I got a good joint story for you. My college roommate and I came up to DC to go visit DC. He wanted to see the city. He had never been there. And he doesn't know about the city. I grew up around DC, so I know the city. And it was at this time when they had the new cigarettes. It's like a cigarette that's empty tube, and you put a tobacco machine on it, and you slide tobacco into it. Well, I made one like that, but I didn't use tobacco. And I only made one, and then we went down to DC. We were walking down the mall, where behind us is the Senate building, and in front of us is the Washington Monument. And we were heading towards the Washington Monument. And it's like 4 football fields. It's long. 4 football fields of grass to get to it. And so as soon as we got into the grass, I lit the special cigarette and had a few puffs. I passed it to my roommate, and we're walking back and forth. And we start talking about the presidency because over there is the White House. And I said, oh, by the way, don't hit this cigarette like a joint. Hit it like a cigarette. He's like, why? And I'm like, because on that building and in that building and that building behind us and over there are snipers with scopes. And we're being looked at. They probably don't think we have a joint, but don't do that again. And he's like, you're kidding. I'm like, no, there are snipers all around us, and we have been seen and observed. Don't hit it the wrong way again.
Yeah.
And his whole face went flush white.
And that's another thing. How is marijuana legal in D.C.? I mean, most of D.C. is federal territory.
It's a territory, so
I'm
it doesn't
confused.
It
But it's
doesn't
a
abide by the
federal territory.
It's a territory. It's like, fair ground.
Well, I mean, look, let's be honest. Like they keep finding cocaine at the White House I don't know where it would have come from. We have no idea. For the cocaine
Yeah, it's Joe Biden's dandruff problem.
It's probably Kamala's is probably what it is.
Right, yeah.
She
comes out of the bathroom, instead of wiping her ass, she's doing this. Okay, what's next?
Yeah. Well, she was talking about her staff and how her staff tells her stuff. What she was trying to get it across people that it pisses her off. It's like the joke with the what was it, the acorn or whatever it is. It's when you hear her tell it about her dad telling her that, no one laughs at it at all. But all of a sudden, people are going to take it up like a champion. I'm like, what the? I said, what are you people? What is wrong with you people? Our country is effed up. What bothers me is there's that many people who just hate Donald Trump enough to vote for Kamala Harris.
I know.
I don't even know what to think about that. I mean, it's not, that Donald Trump's the end all or anything. I said, but when you look at Kamala, one, she is drunk all the time. Two, she has not a fucking clue what's going on. I mean, and then, and I see an NSNBC got in trouble again today because they tried to say, was it Morning Joe or somebody tried to say, well, no, she wasn't the czar. And the guest was like, dude, don't even. He's like, don't even. So he said, don't even start that bullshit. He said, you're just going to make her look worse if you try to lie like that. Everybody knows she's a bore. He said, besides.
I don't think anyone else can make her look any worse. I think she's doing a fine job all on her own.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because if you watch ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, or CNN.
And probably headline news too, because it's also CNN.
Yes, and when you see that, if you read some of these other liberal post things, when you see that, all you see is, oh, she's so great. She's so great. She's so great. She's so great. Her real name is Leah, by the way, just in case y'all didn't know. Leah's incognito, but she's it's sad.
The worst. She's the worst.
She's the worst. So, and see this, and now she's got this excitement right now going up to the when she picks her VP and when she goes in there. So there's just a surround. It's like Trump and them just came off all of that. So she's going to be riding that high. And after that, so that's September. So they'll have 2 months. And Trump's going to have to come down hard on her, which I think he can. And he should debate her somewhere in the middle of September. And
I think he should. I think he can only show to prove that she's not only incompetent of speaking, but incompetent
and when she said, she goes, well, you're a felony. I said, and I can still do a better job than you can.
Yeah.
Isn't that just sad?
He hasn't been sentenced yet. He could go to sentencing even without pardoning himself and be pardoned by the judge. Hell, the Supreme Court could say, hey, this was an illegal, get together anyway. Boom, the sentencing's off.
Well, so they came down on to her. The White House came down on to her about calling him a predator. Said, you're going to get yourself sued. There's nothing that she said. She goes, well, he had to pay that one. That doesn't mean he's a predator. She said, you can't go around. No, you can't go around saying that. And I would start on, she's an alcoholic. If y'all haven't seen it, let me play a lot of your clips. I'd bring her clips to my rallies now, so that, because if you play them there, NBC and CBS is going to play them. And they're going to try to debunk them, but it's not going to matter because you're just going to see, oh, duh, duh. She gets to babble. I mean, no, I'm serious. There are times she babbles worse than Joe does.
And it's clearly not just a babble.
And I want to see in a debate because
it's drunk babble.
After watching her with Tulsi Gabbard, it doesn't matter how well they prefer to prepare her for Donald Trump. She's going to be in shit. And you can bet your ass whoever doesn't, unless it's Fox, is going to give her the questions. That's why Trump doesn't want it anywhere but Fox and One American News, because if not, then you can bet your ass CNN will give her the questions, because not CNN can't do one because they've already done one, but NSD will give her the questions. You can bet your ass on it. She'll have the questions and be preparing for the questions. So, and even then, I still don't think she'd win. I still think Donald would ream her.
Yeah, I would not be surprised that, especially if she gets the nomination at the DNC, I would not be surprised if she holds a press conference just like Joe Biden, where the questions are farmed. They get one after another. They're ordered. The questions are submitted beforehand, and then they say it's off the cuff and unscripted. My ass! If there's a list and you're going one by one, how do you know
there is a list, and there is a list, and they gave for the last debate they gave Joe Biden the questions in the order they were going to be taught.
But not only for that, but for his press conference, it was the same thing. He went down on the list of questions. The question he didn't.
Oh yeah,
people out of the audience. They were already submitted on his computer. He read the question and answered it. How is that
exclamation mark or period? He actually says those things.
Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, sometimes he does. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Joe, it's a Cracker Joe. So let's see. Was it Carolyn? Oh, we're gonna go see the polls. This could be horrible. I may just jump off a bridge after this. Let's go. No, I see him with y'all people. I don't see him. So let's see. First one coming up. Oops, sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button. This is a national poll. National poll average currently right now. Trump is at 48% and Kamala is at 47%. Wisconsin, Trump and
wait. Go back. 47 to 48. Now, she's really just considered the presumptive nominee. She's not the nominee.
Yeah.
And how many weeks has she been? Is 1 week, 2 weeks?
Oh wait, but it gets worse. It gets worse. So Wisconsin,
2 weeks. Bullshit.
So Wisconsin, they're tied. Michigan, they're tied. Pennsylvania, Trump's winning. Georgia, Trump's winning, and Nevada and Carolina, Trump's winning. It's so we scroll down here to the Harris poll. This is the Tagler group. Trump is up by 2. Public policies, Harris is up by 1. Other public policies, Trump's up by 1. Trump's up by 2. The Daily Chaos, never heard of her. She's up by 4. So they're using. This is ridiculous. So everything Trump is up by is actually a national thing. Everything Harris is okay. The Progressive Action Fund, she's up by 4. Does that surprise anybody? I mean, really. Let's see what this other one is. She's the American Research for Democrats, she's up by 1. The Daily Chaos, which is another Democratic sponsor, she's up by 4. So it actually says Democratic sponsor. So in Georgia, she's with this poll. This is a Democratic sponsor. She's up by 1 with the Democrat. This means she's losing her ass off in Georgia.
Yeah.
People. So y'all understand this.
It's a lot like they just took Biden's name out and put her name on top of that.
So y'all understand this, people. These are polling groups that sponsor Democrats. These are mostly Democrats that answer these questions. And she's either tied or losing or up by 1. That means she's down pretty good, because if you added in Republicans and Independent, Trump would be up by like 4 or 5. But we're going to go through them. It's interesting to watch, but he's still nationally up by. But according to everybody else today, he was losing it all. This is one of the big national polls, so it's kind of like this is the time. Sorry. This is the New York Times and the American Research Company. Mm-hmm. Trump's up by 1.
Oop. Did someone click themselves out of existence? It happens. That's unfortunate.
He'll be back.
Yeah, I know. So she gets 2 weeks in. This just boggles my mind. These polls seems like he's been.
It's
replace her name over top of Biden.
It's all propaganda. None of these.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like real.
They're the same numbers. Real. They're the same numbers. 3 weeks ago we were talking about between Biden.
Okay.
And Trump.
Oh wait.
They're the same numbers. There's no change.
Oh, I know. This is even
names
more
have
important.
Changed to protect the innocent.
This last poll was more important. You know what poll that was? The New York Times.
Oh God! Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a blue rag.
So yeah, well, wait, he was winning in most of the polls on the New York Times.
Week
she's going to be ahead by 1 or 2 points. I'm like almost.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. The poll we just read was the New York Times. He's winning nationally in the New York Times. He's winning.
Okay, good.
She is right.
No, he is.
Oh, okay. By how it was a 1 point, right?
It was 1 point, but he's winning in all of those.
It's ridiculous. Like it should be 20 points.
It should be, but he's still even the New York Times can't lie. So they're skimming at least 5 points.
They're skimming at least.
Well, I agree with you. It's more than that, but we're gonna be nice and give them.
Yeah,
5.
but even so, think about it like this: it's 1 point, 1%, 1 point. Any contest, 1 point usually is enough to win the contest. A famous Marine buddy of mine once said, "My gun holds 7, but I only need 1."
All right, here we go.
Right?
Y'all get ready for this. Okay, so president general election poll: Harris 47, Trump 42. Harris is up by 5.
Wow.
Wait, which poll was that?
That is RMG Research. That's just another line.
Wow.
So let's get into the real polling now. So this is Tagler. Trump is up by 2. This is public polling. Trump is up by 1. Progressive Action Fund. Now remember, the ones I'm reading right now are Democratic polls. Trump's up by 1. Progressive Action Fund. Trump's up by 2. The Economist. Trump is up by 2. Daily Chaos, Trump is down by 4. That's one of the ones we seen earlier. That's another liberal poll. So the only polls that she is up in ahead is just liberal polls. There's no, and that's what they're listing on these sites right now. They're not listing to any of the national polls. So like this is the McCullen group. This is a national poll. Trump's up by 4. This is another McCullen poll. Trump's up by 3. This is the active vote for the United States. Trump is up by 5. Again, Trump is up by 3. Trump is up by 1. American Research, he's up by 1. This one, he's down by 2. So let's go through these real quick. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 polls. Trump is only 4 of them he's down in. The other 16 he's up in. So I
saw a poll this morning. I don't remember. It's either Fox or ABC Morning News. I don't remember. But it was just on the policy of immigration for either platform, Biden or not Biden, Harris or Trump, and he was ahead 13% on just the issue of his policy for immigration status. She's down 13% in that area alone, based on just, I guess, her performance. So I mean, that says a lot. So those other polls, I don't know how true this one was. I wasn't able to read the plus or minus, error factor at the bottom. But 13% in any poll, you win. I mean, like I said before, at 1 point you're a winner. But
so this is real clear politics. Now, I've never heard of this Daily Chaos. We've now seen it in 3 different polls, so I've never heard of who they are before. And every one of those, she's winning by like 4 points. That's why it's up there. But Real Clear Politics has Trump up by 2 polls in the general polling numbers. So far, I heard a bunch of people say, "Oh, he's down. He's losing in all the general." Not so far. Every general election poll we've seen so far, Trump is winning in. So This is another one he's winning here. So he is down by 4 in that. Rasmussen, he's up by 5. Reuters, of course, he's down by 1. Harvard, he's up by 4. Morning Consultant, he's up by 1. Wall Street Journal, he's up by 2. Forbes Harris, he's up by 2. New York Times, he's up by 2. CNN, he's up by 3. NPR, which had Joe up the whole time, he's up by 1. So let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So out of the 12, 10 of them he's up on. And some of them he's pretty solidly up. So ladies and gentlemen, the reason we do this is because Democrats lie a lot.
Oh, quite.
For some reason, they just have not been able to let this go. So right now, I'm looking at the major poll. Trump is at 48.7. Harris is at 46.5. Now remember, and she's in her Hollywood. This is about as good as it's going to get for her. Well, I don't know who she's going to make as the thing. So, and these are other polls like in Pennsylvania. So let's see what they say about over here. General election, he's up by 2.2. Okay. President Biden, job approval, nobody likes, of course. Vice President Harris's favorable ability is -6.9 as VP.
Her approval rating is -6.9?
-6.9.
Is that possible to get that like negative?
How do you get negative?
That's hold on. That's
wow.
But wait, she's beating Trump. So wait.
Is his unapproval rating like 6.10 or 6?
No. What I mean is, people are saying that she's winning in other polls. This is what it says right there. It should have posted up with y'all. So direction of company on the wrong track, 50%. Pennsylvania, Trump is up by 3. Georgia, Trump is up by 3. Arizona, Trump is down by. Oh, he's not down in Arizona, but we'll let y'all say that. He's down by 3. Nevada, he's down by 4. We know better than that. Oh, no, that's not him. That's his other people. Never mind. Okay, this is other people. Sorry. So let's go back over here. So all right. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're going to get in some serious ones now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. There's 50 on this list. And she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 she's winning.
Yeah, 10 she's winning. So come up to the verse when she's winning is a daily chaos, whatever it's called, 4 points. Trump has 5 in Rasmussen. Reuters gives her 1 point. Harvard Harris gives Trump 4 points. Morning Consultant gives her 1 point. Wall Street Journal gives her 3. Gives Trump 3 points. Forbes Harris gives Trump 2 points. New York Times Cena gives Trump 2 points. Rasmussen gives Trump 7 points. Morning Consultant gives Harris 1 point. CNN gives Trump 3 points. Reuters gives a 2-part. NPR gives Trump 1 point.
Wow.
Morning Consultant, I know, gives him 2. Yahoo has him at a tie. Quinnipiac gives Trump 2. Forbes 2. CBS 2. Reuters again a tie. So if Reuters don't want to give it, so they just say tie. That's pretty good. Morning Consultant 1. Forbes 4. NPR 1 for Harris. NBC 2 gives to Trump. Emerson 6 from Trump. APC 2 for Trump. Reuters 1 for Trump. Yahoo News 2 for Trump. CNN. Jesus. Where we are? No, man. It's just sad. So I don't know, guys. Those are pretty serious numbers. I mean, they keep saying how she's going to be the thing. And some of these polls are just not agreeing with what y'all are saying. I'm not trying to be mean, but I know a lot of y'all are in love with this girl. But
I mean, it seems like what they've been doing this whole past 8 months. They're in absolute panic and damage control mode.
All right, so we're going to hit rear queer politics. They have them tied. Well, not technically tied. Trump's ahead by 0.9%. So let's see what we got really going on here. Trump has Arizona. Harris has Michigan. Trump has Nevada. Trump has Ohio. Trump has Pennsylvania still. Wisconsin's a tie. Florida, Trump's murderizing, and Trump has Georgia. Trump has New Hampshire, Carolina.
How many
he went up. Wait, look at this. Wait, what was that?
How many key states does he need to clinch it? 4?
Yeah, well, it depends what states they are. So,
he's got Pennsylvania and Georgia. Those are big ones.
Yeah, he's and Wisconsin's a tie. He'll probably take Wisconsin too. I can't see him voting for Kamala in Wisconsin. Nationally, he's up like I said, like a little bit more than half a point. So he's got Arizona. Michigan he didn't have in the first place, but he's got Nevada, which is a swing state. Pennsylvania, which is a swing state. Wisconsin, which is a tie, which is also a swing state. Georgia he's got, which is a swing state. So we're going to get in some curious stuff now. So New Hampshire, he's tied in. North Carolina, he's winning. So in Oregon, when this was Joe Biden in Oregon, Trump was at like 34%. He is currently at 44% in Oregon.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about Iowa?
But he's still down 4 points. Okay, Minnesota, she's up by 6. Washington, she's up by 14, which isn't a big surprise to me.
That's a myth.
That's about right. Virginia, they're saying she's up by 2, but it looks more like a tie to me. Maine,
Well,
Trump's got it.
Biden
Texas,
was
he's
up by
killing
2,
him.
so no surprise there.
And then California, on this one, Trump is at 44 and she's at 47.
Huh.
With Joe Biden, she was at 35.
Huh.
And this one isn't even giving me New York. I don't know what the deal is, why it's not giving me all the states. It does that for some reason or another.
Who's up in Iowa? Because like last week, the week before, he went up 34 points in Iowa.
He's so let's see what they're saying right now. They're saying right now Trump has 251. She has 226.
Oh God.
And but so you see North Carolina's pink, Georgia's pink, Arizona's going to be pink, Nevada's pink. So those are the ones he needs already. He's got those. Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's pink. So he's just got those. I think he's already got enough. And if he flips New York or California,
what's it doing?
She ain't quite got the states right now.
I think he has enough. Like if he votes
He
today,
needs, as he stands right now, he needs 19 votes to be president.
Yeah,
that's what he needs.
19.
And that's if you believe these other ones are that close to Kamala, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, because he was murderizing Joe in both those states and Nevada as well. Actually, they showed Nevada as pink, so I'm not sure why it's on here. And Arizona almost always votes pink, so I'm really surprised it's not on there either. But with those two, he's already won. Oh, no,
Yeah.
that wouldn't. That would only give him 17. It'd be too short.
Yeah, but one of those.
But you know what? If he takes just Pennsylvania, which he's ahead in right now, he's president of the United States. It's all he's got to take. He doesn't even have to worry about Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona. He just needs to take Pennsylvania. And he's in the next president of the United States. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'd be definitely concentrating some people in Pennsylvania, that's for sure. But if she takes what's his name as the governor as her running mate, that might be tough on him. That could be tough on him. All right, let's see what we got right there. But none of these have Kennedy in them, I notice. All I'm saying, when Kennedy's in there, it favors her, which I have a hard time believing that. And it won't let me see the map with New York and stuff in it. It's what I think they're scared to show New York. So if he flips New York, he's won.
Yeah.
And let's see.
So I'm just looking at a map that has the electoral votes by state. New York is worth 28, Pennsylvania 19.
What I'm looking for, though, because it shows you on this other page, it shows you what the percentages are on some of the states. For some reason, it's not showing New York, which it usually does, which I find interesting that it's not doing it. It's I don't know why it's only showing part of it. Maybe I'm missing something. All right, then go backwards. Why won't it go backwards? Oh, there. No, it didn't go. What the hell? Well, so far, guys, all the national polls that I've found, which are all the big ones, Trump's still winning. So I don't know what all of that is about. And we haven't really got into the hateful stuff about her yet and her little czar stuff. I mean, he gained 5, 6, 7, 8 points in California. And I think she's going to lose a lot more votes in Cali than she wants to admit to.
Yeah. California's 54 electoral votes. If he gets that, he's definitely in.
Let's see. Maybe it'll load all the states. Let's see. National. When I did it this way, they got her ahead national by 3%.
Huh.
I mean, by 0.3%. I'm sorry. But then Trump has Arizona. That's flipped. I gave him Arizona when I did that. He got way closer there. He's in Michigan. He's almost tied. Georgia, he's winning. Nevada, he's winning. See, that gave him Nevada too. The Hampshire's he's pretty much tied. North Carolina's winning. Ohio's winning. Pennsylvania, Texas, yeah, he's winning. Virginia's not. But why won't it give me the rest of the states? It doesn't want to show me New York for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Show me 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 states out of all of them. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know, guys. I'm on the 270 right now. But when I hit that button, it changed the way the thing went.
Let's see what I can find out. No, I don't want that.
Why won't it give me? Come on, show me New York. New York's a major state. It won't show. I don't know what's up with that. I'm on 270. Whoever asked me that question, that's where I'm at.
Here we go. Election consensus. What does it say? It keeps giving me this banner that says "Turn your ad blocker off," and I can't get.
No, it's
been
weird.
bothering me.
Let me jump to another one.
If you don't turn your ad blocker off, you can't look at the maps.
Let's see. The Economist has Trump ahead. Okay. Not favorable rating. Okay, that's all looking good. What's that, Janine? If you got some, send them to me. Well, right now she's losing in all the national polls, only by a point or two, though. That's well within the error, and she still has.
I was see how she's been in for 2 weeks. She's not even the actual nominee yet, and she's ahead by one. Yeah, come on, and it's just such wishful thinking.
What's that, Frank? You sent me
literally propaganda. It's
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, like I said, in most of the polls, he's ahead, so I'm not worried about that. So all that tells you, people, is that if there was any way they would put her behind, but they can't. So New York Times, here we go, says Trump is over by 2. Wall Street Journal says Trump is over by 2. CNN says Trump is over by 3. That's your major polls there. And that's from today, actually. So I don't know what to tell y'all. These Harris people are upset, but if this website could say it, they would. You know. And all it says is Harris has more past the 270 than Biden did, but not sure if she's got enough to actually win. Well, we'll see what goes on. We don't even know who her VP is going to be yet. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't think she knows yet.
Mm-mm. Well, they really wanted the guy from Pennsylvania, but I don't know if he's going to do it or not.
Yeah, Shapiro.
Yeah. Because if they can take Pennsylvania, well,
terrible too.
You know, and will that help him out in Pennsylvania or not? Will the people feel like he's trading on them? It's not always good for your governor to go run for another political office. Some people get upset. Christopher, no.
And it's been that long. It's what, 2 years?
Yeah, so you know. Well, Pennsylvania's a funny state. They vote red sometimes. They vote blue sometimes. You never know what they're going to go. There's actually more blue people in the state. Yeah, there's actually more blue people in the state, but they don't always vote the way they're supposed to. Fetterman's an idiot. But in all fairness, he's a better idiot than the Oz guy was.
Dr. Oz, yeah.
Because you know why? At least Fetterman's halfway honest with the way he acts. Oz, the whole thing was an act. From start to finish, that was a polished act.
Well, but Fetterman also has to his credit, reviving a neighborhood devastated by drugs and heroin.
Well, he's also a local. Oz wasn't a local. He came in from another state.
His wife is from the area.
Yeah. Well, will he get to stay? That's a whole different thing. But he's a senator, so it takes 6 years to get him out.
Yeah.
Well, people, anytime you hear we need Supreme Court limitations, you need to say instantly, well, we need limitations on the House and the Senate. Instantly. Congress needs term limitations. If we're going to think about limitations on the Supreme Court justices, then we need limitations on the House and the Senate. You can't be having the House and Senate and have limitations on there. And as far as ethics laws go, I think the House and the Senate need it far more than the Supreme Court does. So people need to start coming out, and y'all need to turn on Schumer and say, hey, look, y'all do some shady things in there like insider trading. Yeah. That alone is enough reason. Yeah, well, no, people, they inside trade in freaking Congress.
Yeah, it's legal. It's legal for them to do
Sean
that.
And I wish we knew the shit they did. You know what?
Yeah.
If we had learned a secret, let's say Nancy Pelosi told one of us to invest in this product, and we did, and we made money, we'd go to jail because that's insider trading. But Nancy wouldn't. Oh, no, she can invest as much money as she wants in it.
Yep. That's why they all become millionaires, except for idiots like Mike Turner.
Yeah, well, you got a few of them that don't know how to play the game, but Jack, I don't know, man. It's sad. In my heart, I feel like Trump can win this election. I just think they're going to try to cheat as hard as they can. Now, they got some kind of weird investigation going on into the voting machine, so that may slow that cheating down. Mm-hmm. And then something about they're adding in another person that may slow. So you may see a lot of cheating get stopped or even slowed down, but they're trying to get Kamala's numbers as close as they can, because all they're going to need, see, if her polling numbers
they
are
can
close,
do the steal a lot easier if they're close.
Because if the numbers are more than 3 or 4 points, people are not going to accept that the other person lost. They're just not going to.
Yeah, but I think most people will realize the gig is up. So the jig is up, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think they'll accept a Kamala victory because they won't believe it.
No, and I think the closer we get to the election, the worse our polls are going to get. If I was Trump, I'd debate the bitch like 3 times, man. I'd be like, "Look, you want to talk? Come on, let's." I mean, he's a showman. She's an idiot.
Yeah,
I would wait
second debate.
I would wait until she clinches the.
Oh yeah, I agree with that because you don't know what's going to happen there.
Destroy her, and then they would pick somebody who has a better shot.
The Republicans could cheat here.
Yeah,
they could challenge
September 19th.
Well, no, they could challenge the whole process and tie it up in court for the next month.
Yeah, they could.
And then that would only give them a month to choose, and it would be a complete disaster by then. Well, the media's on Kamala's side, guys and girls. Don't think they're not. Well, okay. CNN, well, maybe not CNN, but NBC, CBS, MSNBC, ABC are all on Kamala's side. Mm-hmm. But you got One American News and Newsmax and all of them. They're on Trump's side, but Fox is not what Fox used to be. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to offend, because I got some friends at work with me, and I don't want to offend them, but it's not what it used to be. It's they're not the beacon of conservatism that they used to be.
Here's the best description of all the news agencies. If you go to Roku and go to the live TV tab, and then go over, you click the arrow to the left, then there's little tabs you can go down, recents, favorites, all channels, etc. The one for news is called News and Opinion.
Yep. News and Opinion.
ABC's on there, NBC, CNN, Headline News, they're all on there.
As far as I know, the only news that's not considered opinion news is the 6 o'clock news and your local 5 o'clock news. Other than that, everything else is opinion news. Well, we do opinion news. We talk about a lot of stories and all, but we also have opinions on the different stories.
Yeah, but I don't know about the local news so much, because sometimes there are very few of those that are left that are unaffiliated. Almost all of them are affiliated with NBC, Fox, ABC, CBS.
Yeah, but what I mean by local news, there's not much they can go that's going to fall outside of something that's going on locally. Cop arrested this, kid went to jail for marijuana, whatever. Locals in town for this thing. So it's pretty much just filled up with local stuff. So it's hard to lie about that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, the 6 o'clock news people have to go by a code of ethics because they're supposed to be journalists, and journalists can't go roaming off and saying stupid shit. They can get sued for it. Just like Rachel Mad Cow Maddow found out, you get sued for stupid stuff. Yeah, I can call it that. Well, she acts like a mad cow. Anybody who gets up there and says some of the shit that she said, oh, you mean Whoopi? No, Whoopi's the same way. Whoopi's like, I hear they're getting a new studio next year, Studio 28, because they're so good. Well, I did see somebody today on Instagram had posted they had filed a lawsuit on The View for Whoopi trying to say that Kamala wasn't a czar. Well, the problem is Joe Biden said it. You can't trying to retract it after you got Crazy Joe in his own words saying it. There's nothing you can do. I mean, he said, I brought her in for this. She's going to take care of this border, and they're going to get this border under control. And you know
they
what?
had
Today,
whole like press conferences about it.
And you know what? Till today, she's never been there. No. She's never been to the border, people. And AOC said she went to the border, but we found out she was in a parking lot miles away from the border. Yes. Cowardly Democrats. Not all Democrats are cowards, but there's a bunch of them. The Democrats are not the party of the Kennedy party. They have become a cowardly. They have resorted back to their,
their wig days were the mudslinging
well,
days.
I mean, these were the guys who started the KKK. These are the guys who voted against blacks being freed under Lincoln. These are the guys who started a bunch of the laws that kept blacks down for 100 years.
These are the guys who emancipated their slaves only years, in some cases 10 or 20 years after the Civil War.
That's why I always, when I ask my black friends, I always ask, I said, why do you back them? I said, I don't understand it. I said, when you go through the history of the Democrats, I mean, they're Jim Crow, KKK. I mean, what are you doing? Oh, well, Kennedy. I said, yeah, but Kennedy didn't really do anything. He died.
Yeah.
And since then, as Donald Trump said, what have they done for you? I mean, really? And then, wait, you can't even say that they're going to put a black woman in as president because she's not African.
She's not even black, yeah.
And according to her, she's white, or some days she's Indian. It depends what day you ask her. I mean, one day she's black, one day she's Indian, one day she's white. She's whatever turns her fruity booty. Well, there's a lot of stories about her working as a call girl. She was an escort, actually. Supposed to be a $high escort. And then she met, I can't remember the judge's name, and she met him, and then they started hanging out. The judge introduced her to some of his other friends, and they all started using her. And I guess eventually she either got enough information on her or they liked her enough that she got a job somewhere, and then she just went up from there. I mean, she was district attorney of San Francisco, and ever since she was district attorney of San Francisco, it has become a shit hole.
But
that is as nicely and as politely, guys, have y'all been to San Francisco? Don't even bother going.
Now, was she born in America or was she born in Canada? I thought she was.
No, she was born in America, and at 4 years old, they moved to Canada. Yeah. Actually, from what I understand, neither one of her parents were American. But you're born in America. You're born in America. You can be president. No, the reason they fought with Barack is they didn't think he was born in America. Because the Kenya hospital has a birth certificate on Barry Soetoro, which is Barack Obama. Yeah, that's what the whole argument was about. But Congress wouldn't investigate it. No, they would not. All they kept saying was it real, but no one actually ever took the time. Well, you notice they didn't sue the sheriff.
Yeah.
Because no one would take the time to investigate it. Because if they investigated to sue the sheriff, they might have found out something they didn't want to find out, so they didn't want to investigate it. Well, his brother, remember this, his brother said he was born in Kenya. And his birth certificate said he was born in Kenya. But all of a sudden, we got an American birth certificate, which, by the way, when you set it on top of the other one, the little lines on this column matched up.
Oh, but it gets better than that. The birth certificate came from a hospital in Hawaii that burned down the year before he was born. So
and
figure
then
that one out.
There was something about his social security number didn't come from Hawaii. It came from one of the Northeast states.
Yeah, each state has the first three digits tell you what state it is.
Yes, don't hate on me, people. I'm none of this is being made up. It's all true stuff. But no, it still doesn't prove that he was born there. I mean, maybe the hospital wanted the recognition. Maybe his brother wanted attention. I mean, I don't know. But nobody would ever do a real investigation to find out, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because Democrats never want to investigate anything that could hurt them.
Yeah, and to prove an odd point, I could go online and print myself out, an electrical engineering degree from Harvard or MIT, and get a huge paying job, not knowing how to do it. In the same respect as
I still can't believe we elected somebody with a
there.
terrorist name. I mean, half his name was a terrorist name. I don't even know
Oh
why
yeah,
we did that.
but he could have faked those documents. I mean that's what I'm trying. That was my point. I was trying to get to is you could fake just about any kind of document on the internet that you wanted.
Yeah. Well, his sister slipped up one time and said something about him not being born in the U.S. That they had to get some kind of Social Security number for him. And then on many occasions, when he was asked about his religion, he said he was Muslim. There's countless videos of where he slipped up and said, "I'm Muslim." Mm-hmm. Actually, there was one video he was talking to some reporter out of the New York Times, and he said, "Oh no, I was born in Kenya." He said it himself, and then of course it got scrubbed. And everybody said, "Oh, it's just because people kept saying that, it just popped out of his head." No, it's because that's where he was from. But regardless, we had a non-citizen run the country for 8 years.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but traditionally with every president, particularly one who's his first administration, the very Sunday after they're sworn in is a huge thing because they allegedly go to church. Jack Kennedy did it, Nixon did it, and then there's a huge contingent of media that follow them to the church proceedings.
Sean went to church for him now.
They didn't do that with Barack, if I'm not mistaken. They just said he's going to church.
Really, no, because Barack went and sat up and got stoned is what he did. He's like,
or he went over to the local mosque and bowed to Mecca, whichever.
Well, I mean, and you know what? I don't really care what his freaking religion was. I don't
either, but they didn't follow him to the church like they did with so many other presidents.
I like when they send me things. Oh, he got an 86% approval rate. I said, "With who?"
Yeah,
I actually wrote to the guy who does the historian for the White House. I said, "Where are you getting this bullshit from?" I said, "I will challenge you on this, dude." I said, "If you try to put this into the thing, I'm going to challenge you."
That number is absolutely 100% correct, Joe. That they asked Michelle herself, and that was the number she gave them.
Yeah, I bet. And I was like, "I don't know where you got this number from." I said, "You're saying he's more popular than Reagan or JFK?" I said, "Dude,
no way."
I said JFK maybe because half them people are dead. Reagan, all them people are still alive. You're full of shit.
Well, and in truth, if half the people that weren't dead that knew Kennedy, half of them would have hated him, and half of them would have loved him anyway.
But what got me is they were saying he was more popular than Clinton, and Clinton was a popular president, even though he did get his wikied.
Right, but he could also play saxophone, so that
I'm still confused about the wiki thing too. I mean, this is going on. The French president's having an affair. His wife's there. The chick's there. I'm thinking the European guys having an affair. And I'm like, what the hell? Americans are just so uptight sometimes.
Yeah.
What's that, Johnny? No, we get ready to go. What you got? As far as I know, she's never been pregnant. We'd have to look and see. No, those are not her kids. Those are stepkids. Yeah, wouldn't you like to talk to the wicked stepkids? Find out how wicked their mom. Well, no, and that's an easy thing. Trump can get her on right there. She was talking about how kids and all should be. She's never with them kids. When was she kids? She's vice president of the United States. And before that, she was attorney general of California. Really, she's going to, at the very minimum, she's got 12, 14-hour days. And what bothers me, though, is them kids do look black. I don't know if the father was with a black woman first. I'd have to go research it. Maybe it was just the way they did the pigtails in her hair. I don't know, but look it up, people. Look it up and send it to us. We'll be here next Friday. Look it up and send it to us. I think Trump will probably hold his lead, even with whoever they bring in. Do I think he should get rid of Vance? I think it's too late for any of that at this point.
Yeah. The bell's been rung. You can't unring it.
But
why don't people like Vance? I think Vance
they do, but
great.
Chuck Schumer did put his foot in his nuts. Because he asked point blank, "Do you think this guy can step in and run the country if you die tomorrow?" And that's why I always thought Trump was going to go with a governor or someone else who's had that kind of experience. I was a little befuddled why he didn't. But
Vance would be fine.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll fumble his way through it. Well, he's a smart guy, and all. He's he's in but he's in the middle of having to rethink because he had this one mindset because they were after Joe Biden. Now there's another mindset because they're after Kamala, and they have to be sharp with this because they've only got 3 months to get all this done and make the country understand that she's far worse than Joe Biden, which I don't think it's as big a fight as people want it to be, but I do think this does make the election a little dangerous being so short.
If the news media keeps her at the front of every news broadcast, especially when she's drunk and slurring her words, I think they're going to lose the war for her. Just the news media
if they do that, but I've been noticing they've been clipping her and putting her in. They've been making her look better and sound better. They got her bouncing around, dancing, being all happy and stuff. They're clipping it, so they're keeping a lot of that stuff out. Only Trump's going to be able to do that, and he's going to have to get on it, and he's going to have to spend a lot of money. And I still think that the Democratic Party, before they could go on, should have to reimburse Trump for all the money he spent against Joe Biden.
Well, I don't know if you gentlemen have noticed or not, but I don't watch a whole lot of live TV, but even on the streaming channels on Roku, I'm not seeing a lot of advertisements for Trump.
I'm not seeing a lot of advertisements for anybody.
Huh?
Yeah.
He doesn't need it. Yeah, because the news media has won. The Democrats keeping him in the fort. They've won that battle for him.
Oh,
so
wait.
He can really tie her a new one, you know?
So now they're trying to cancel out Trumpian shot with Kamala Harris on June 6th was near the pipe bomb.
What?
Near the pipe bomb. Yes, she was near it, within like 50 feet of it or something.
What, on January 6th?
Yeah.
You mean the one the FBI planted, that pipe bomb?
Yeah,
the one they didn't even know it actually worked. So, but see, that's the media for you. That's what they just, oh, well, yeah, guys, I mean, she was brave. No, one, she didn't know the damn thing. You can't be brave if you don't know it's there. Yeah, and two, it never was detonated or she was never in jeopardy. Trump was hit by a bullet. You
B
can't
and C though, they was never.
And then he got up, fought against the Secret Service agents just so he could give them the fist.
And that he should make sure that is running on every television network he can.
Yeah,
especially in Democratic areas. What's that?
Yeah, that whole thing went dark real fast. Like, investigation. What? Like, there was no mass shooting in Las Vegas. We don't remember this guy, right? Like, it's just.
I know. Yeah. Well, the more they talk about it, the more shit they get themselves into. I mean, first it was 20 minutes, and now it's an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, and they got a video. I watched the video today. The Secret Service released. You seen the guy walking around on the fucking building? Excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen, but I mean, so this is a video like 30 or 40 minutes before Trump gets shot at. He's just walking around there.
Well,
I mean,
but
the guy's got a video and he's telling everybody, and still, I mean.
But also during that time, it wasn't clear at first, but during that same 30, 40 minutes beforehand, people were calling the police on him for being suspicious. And at first, it wasn't clear if all the calls about suspicious activity were about this kid. But it turns out from the FBI report that they were. So he was deliberately trying to bait them to certain areas so they would come looking for him there as a distraction. So I don't understand what his motives weren't, but it's clear that there should have been action way before he got onto that roof.
There should have been.
I mean, for 30 or 40 minutes, he's eluding the police and the Secret Service. And in the
but
Secret
there's
Service
other things that bother me besides that. So he's on that roof at that time. Trump's sitting right there. I mean, there was a couple of clean shots. And I don't understand. I mean, maybe the guy that came up beside the building startled him. But I'm thinking he popped 8 rounds. If I shot 8 rounds at any target, it would have been dead.
I would have hit at least 7 of those 8.
Now, granted, the way he did it was like pop, 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 and pause, and then pop, pop, pop. So I think he thinks Trump was down because Trump hit the ground. I think he thinks Trump's dead.
Yeah,
so at that point, he just starts shooting random targets.
Because he didn't have magnification. So at 150 yards, the human head looks like the head of a pin. You can't make this out as a single solitary object to hit. It's impossible. Even trained snipers said that's an impossible shot with the gun he had and the optics he had. So it's all pure luck. And without that magnification, he can't verify whether that shot.
And then there's some other weird stuff because the dad said
hesitation.
The dad said the gun had a scope.
The FBI saying all it had was a red dot with no magnification.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
That's what the FBI is saying. Yeah, that's the official FBI report.
So the dad made another announcement and said, no, the gun had a scope on it. So now everybody's wondering what a scope is. Now maybe the scope wasn't sighted. You don't want to have a non-sighted scope on your gun. I'll just be distracted. But a laser, I mean, without some kind of optics, you can't see a laser at 150 yards in the daylight. You're not going to see that. It's not going to appear as nothing.
Not without infrared goggles, man.
You know, that's 150 yards. I mean, that's without some kind of smoke trail or something. And a lot of lasers won't even go that far. So you plus nowhere in any of the video do you see a red dot on it anywhere.
Well, a red dot sight without optics or without magnification, it doesn't put a dot on the target. It's just a little glass thing that you look through, and it puts a red. You have to sight it in with the iron sights, but it puts a red dot where the bullet should go. But again, at 150 yards without magnification, you can't see this, so there's no way he could make that shot. So that's why he hesitates. He thought he's killed him, and then he waits, and then he doesn't see jump anymore. Then he goes and fires off, however many more rounds.
Yeah, another 4 rounds. Because I told when I said that, I told Linda when I heard it, so that was more than 5 rounds. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
The official report says 8.
Yeah, I counted 8, and then I counted another round after that, which I'm assuming was from the sniper.
That's the sniper.
But 4, so it was pop. So I would have went pop, and then as he slid, I would have went pop, right at his head. And more. And if the Secret Service got in the way at the time, well, there'd have been 2 Secret Service that wouldn't have made it. But of course, the little young girl left his face open so wide for so long. They got lucky on that.
Well, it's because she's 5'6" and he's 6'2". Yeah. She shouldn't have been paired with him because of the height disparity.
No, she shouldn't have been. And he took up for her because she did her job. But in the end, she shouldn't have been there. She should have been doing something other duty. I mean, it's not her duty.
She could have been a spotter for one of the sniper teams. The more you look out in the crowd, yeah.
The more you look, the more it looks like that the security was very lax. And then I heard the guy who replaced
it was lax on purpose, though. I mean, for this 20-year-old kid to run around for 30 to 40 minutes, baiting the police and not getting arrested, that says a lot, because he wasn't running around just in the outside of the CIA and Secret Service zone. He was inside the Secret Service zone making these, people call about his suspicious activity, and he didn't get arrested. That's a huge fail.
Well, Ted Cruz asked the new assistant director, whatever he is. I said, he goes, I want to know how many more people protect Joe Biden than they did Donald Trump. And the guy's trying to make all kind of excuses. He said, I understand that Joe Biden is the sitting president and it takes more security. I want to know how much more.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not asking anything else. He said, I want to know, is it times 1, times 2, times 5, times 10? I want to know how many more people were there. He said, because Donald Trump was a president of the United States and is the presumptive winner of this election, and you're not protecting him, you should be protecting him as well as you're protecting Joe Biden. And,
even the fact that he wasn't running for president, he's a former president. He should still have that protection.
Yeah, but not. I understand what the guy meant, that the sitting president is going to get far more security than somebody else. I understood that.
But how many more agencies are assigned to him? Yeah.
But does that mean leaving somebody else, unprotected because you got to protect Crazy Joe? And what the question should have been is how many security people does Kamala have compared to Trump? Because I bet you she's got more, and she doesn't really warrant having more. So, because Trump is a controversial character. I mean, he puts his life out there all the time. So,
yeah. But another big question is, of the Secret Service agents, how many of them are 6'2" or taller, tall enough to protect? And Kamala is pretty tall too. She's, I think, 5'9". So you need to have enough agents as tall or taller than the target, the protectee.
Well, that's true. And they know that. But, so think of it. They're using Secret Service agents. They can pull in Department of Homeland Security agents if they need them. They can pull on sheriff, police, local police, and the state troopers. They can pull in all of them. So they should never have a problem with security. And they don't have to pull them out of one color. They can pull them as far as they want away.
That's another thing that I can't understand, why this kid runs around for 30 minutes making a ruckus and no one arrests his ass. There are the outside of that area where the building was taken down, that was protected by the Butler PD, Butler County PD, Butler Sheriffs. But inside that zone, there's state police, there's county police, there's probably.
They were
Butler
talking
police.
about that yesterday.
Yes, everybody's in that zone, and I just don't know how do you. And it wasn't
So
that big of an event.
The PD was talking back and forth to each other for like an hour and 40 minutes or something.
Just about
but
this kid?
About this kid. Nobody can understand, did it get to the troopers or not? Because the troopers are the ones supposed to send it to the Secret Service. Now, when I heard the head of the sheriff's department talk, he said yes, that when they seen it the first time when they stopped him, they sent it to the state police saying that, hey, we lost it, and we're not sure where he's at. And at that point, I don't know what the troopers did, but two of the snipers for the PD came down and started walking around. The ones that were in the building with the kid came down and started walking around. So odds are that was an aluminum roof. If they would have stayed there, they would have heard the guy stomping around on the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to walk on
Well, they probably would have heard him mounting the ladder to climb up the roof.
Well, there is no ladder.
How do you get up there?
They're saying there was a walkway in the middle, and somehow he got up the walkway and got on the roof. They can't find a ladder anywhere.
The initial report said that he had a ladder, and
I know.
An officer ran up the ladder.
And then they said the officer ran up the ladder, but now they're saying that the reason the officer couldn't get up there is because the cop had him was lifting him up to look, and he couldn't get to his gun because when the kid turned around with his gun and pointed at him, he couldn't get to it because he was in an awkward position. That's the news story. I know it keeps changing.
Wow.
But they can't find. They keep saying they couldn't find any ladder anywhere. And which makes sense because if anybody would have seen a ladder leaning against the building, somebody would have had.
That's major.
So it looks like, from what I've seen, they had some tall AC units there, probably about 3 foot off the tall, and then they had a walkway that was lower than the roof by about 2 feet. So the kid might have been able to jump it, or he might have had some other way of getting up there. It could have been a tree. There's lots of ways of getting on roofs other than ladders. Mm-hmm. Or, as far as they know, which I don't know if anybody checked, a lot of roofs have hatches.
Yeah, he could have gone in from the inside. He could have parkour jumped up the side of it, bouncing off the building next to it.
It's hard to say, but they don't really know. They want to tell us that they do know, but they don't really know. And it looks like the security was very relaxed. It looks like, first off, 150 yards, that should have been inside the Secret Service. I would imagine the Secret Service should do anything within 400 yards.
Well, it seems more and more like this was a planned event with some strategic given to this kid somehow from, I don't know from who, but everyone's been saying it looks like they're thinking it's a fake setup on Trump's end. This is looking more like a setup from somewhere else.
I would say that, but then Trump that means he would have had to get the media and all the Secret Service to go along with him to fake this.
Yeah, that would be impossible because most of the media hates him.
That's plus what makes it even better is somebody got a picture of the bullet going by.
Yeah, which is phenomenal. But why would you, if it was Trump, why would you stage a fake shooting, which by the way is impossible to put? I mean, if you want anyone wants, I can explain how the squibs in Hollywood work. Had they put a squib on his ear or behind his ear, there would actually be a hole in it, but the fake blood would not look like it did on TV. I can guarantee you that. But you just can't, in public like that, you can't fake those kind of little tiny wounds.
But it's more than that. I mean, like I said, you had the picture of the bullet. You've got all the people at the hospital, not just the doctor, but everybody who that seen him when he came in. Because he didn't have nothing on his ear at the time. So,
and the big thing is you have the civilian murdered, and not just murdered. People literally said his head came off, like just exploded and is gone. You can't.
That means you hit him with a hollow point.
How do you stage someone's head exploding? That's another hard special effect to do, even for Hollywood. But even if it's a real guy,
there's no doubt that's right. I mean, what it really comes down to is it was the kid, just a lone gunman. Because they opened his phone now, and they've been going through his phone, and they've been saying he had some little social media here, social media there, and they tried saying he was a Republican, but then they found out he was a Democrat donor, so they kind of had to get off of the Republican thing.
But he was registered to vote Republican.
He was, but he was donating money on her. So at first they said, oh, it was just $115.
Keep in mind, though, you have to do that to vote. Pennsylvania has an open primary.
If you want to vote in the
A lot of
primaries,
people
you
will
have
register. A lot of Democrats were registering to vote as Republicans so they could vote against Trump.
Well, when I moved to the state 3 years ago, Sean, I had to change my license and all that stuff over. So when you're at the DMV, most places you can also register to vote. And the guy says, "Do you want to be Republican, Democrat, whatever?" I said, "Well, I'd like to register as a Libertarian." And he says, "Well, you can't vote in any primaries." And I'm like, "What? Where is that legal?" He's like, "In Pennsylvania, you have to be Republican or Democrat. You can't be any of the other parties if you want to vote in presidential primaries." That's
Well, I
messed
mean,
up.
yeah, you can't.
It's messed up.
Well, I don't know. You shouldn't be able to vote in a Republican primary if you're not a Republican. That's the whole purpose of it.
But libertarians can. Everybody who well, I guess they can if you register as a Republican and then vote Libertarian. Different story, but they're still on the ticket.
But in Pennsylvania, though, if you're a Democrat, you can. Well, no, you have to be registered as a Republican, but they can just register as a Republican and then vote.
Yeah, you're not set to vote in any party you join. But how can it be even possibly legal to say to someone you're a Libertarian, you can't vote in primaries? It's just. I think everybody should have that right.
One, there's probably not a Libertarian in the primary. That's probably what it is. Because in primaries, you can only vote your party. You can't vote no other party.
Yeah, and the problem with that is, like, if you open it up to everybody, then you have a Democrat come in and can spike your primary.
Yeah, so
right?
they're only supposed to, it's whatever party you belong to votes in the primary, but you can get other people to join, but you have to.
The one thing I do like about Pennsylvania's policies on voting is you get carded. You have to bring a valid.
You've always got carded down here ever since I was a kid.
But not all states do it. California doesn't do it. I don't think.
California don't do it. New York's don't do it. They don't give a shit. Well, you know what's funny about Cali? That's not exactly true. I've been in parts of Cali where they actually do card, and I've been in parts of Cali where they don't card. Like LA, they don't ask you for. I was down there, and there was some local election going on, and a friend of mine was like, "Come with me, I got to go vote." And I'm like, "All right." So he walks in. Is sitting there waiting for him to ask him for some ID note. Goes up, picks up the paper, click, 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 click. Goes and goes in some booth, I think it was, or something. Votes, and then we leave. I'm like, no IDs? He's like, nope. I said, that means every Hispanic in your town can come vote. He said, yep. And I was like, okay. That's,
that's... same thing. I could go to a place, vote as me, then go to another place and go, hi, I'm John Smith. And they say, "Oh, are you a 52 or 72?" And my address is 72. Oh, well, here's your voting thing. Then I go to the next voting pool. Hi, I'm
That's what they busted out. That Karen woman over there bragging about she voted in 3 states, in each state 6 times.
Yeah.
What's it, mate? Well, no, see, one person does, but if you got 100 people doing that, that's enough to swing.
She drove hundreds of miles across. What was it? New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and a whole bunch of places, and just to vote 6 times in each state. With 6 different fake identities or stolen identities.
I don't know, people. Well, no, some states you just don't have to have any. Down here, you do. If you're in the South, you got to show an ID. Yeah, you're not voting nowhere in the South.
Come on. To get on an airplane, you have to show an ID. To get cigarettes, booze, medical marijuana record,
voting is
an ID. Why not for voting? I mean, it's
voting is one of the most important things you'll ever do in your life, and everything else you have to have an ID, but for voting you don't.
You got to show ID to get your prescriptions out of the CVS store. Sometimes.
Derek, hold on. I'll look right quick before we leave. Give me 1 second. Olympic Games, Paris. China has the most goals with 13. France with 11. Australia with 11. And the United States with 9. I've never really seen the United States behind before in goals, so it's kind of weird seeing.
We're sucking it. The only thing we're any good in was the gymnastics stuff that Simone Biles won for us. That's about it.
That's because we have men in all our sports now.
Yeah.
Men in all the women's sports.
Well, wait, what is this?
But there's also good news. There's a new sport in the Olympics. Breakdancing. It's in there.
Now, you mean who's got the most medals? America does have the most medals with 43. China's the next closest with 31. Yeah, we have 18
we have the
silver and
teams,
16
so that
bronze.
makes sense.
But I mean, in most medals, we're kicking everybody's ass. No, we're just not hitting the goal. We get a lot of silvers, we get a lot of bronze. We're just not hitting the goal like we usually do. Look, man, don't even get me started on stuff. You know what? I was going to talk about this in the beginning of the show and I left it, but we're late. But I'm only going to say a few minutes about this because we got to get out of here. Sean's got to go feed the babies, and I got to go feed the babies. So I don't, so everybody's been bugging me to watch the opening of the Olympics. So a friend of mine, first thing he sends me is the Last Supper, picture of the Last Supper. He said,
if you can find it, because they took that stuff off.
Oh, yeah, but it's still around. So it was actually on the news today. So he sends me that, and he says, "Look, I want you to look at something." And he sends me this video, and I'm looking at it, I'm going, I said, "Well, this is just horrible. What is this?" He said, "Joe, that was the opening at the Olympics." I'm like, "No, you fucking with me, right?" He's like, because I thought he was with me. I really did. He'd say, "No, I'm serious." I said, "Wait, let me get this right. The French government allowed a bunch of transvestites to reenact the Last Supper of Christ. Is that what you're telling me?" And he said, "Yeah." And then I seen the big blue girl. That's what I'm calling her. I'm sticking with it. Playing Jesus. I'm like, yeah, no. I said, Jesus is kind of skinny. He didn't eat a lot. I said, I think we got a little issue with this, I think. And you guys, I'm not even religious anymore. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was, if they would have done that to like Muhammad, we would still not heard the end of it. We would have probably started a jihad on France.
Oh my God! It's just so fast would they attack us.
It's just, and wait, it bothers me is I haven't heard the Vatican say anything.
Mm-hmm.
The Vatican should be livid.
No, the Vatican should be thanking them for taking any kind of stuff against them for child, pedophilia out of the limelight.
Maybe so, but I mean,
guys are focused on what the transvestites are doing. No one's thinking about what the.
I'm watching the one guy. They're posing. I'm thinking. I said, I didn't know that the. Now, not to say that some of the, they might not have been some transvestites in the group, but I'm just saying they weren't a whole bunch of them. This was ridiculous. I just never seen nothing this stupid in my whole life. What do you mean, homophobic? Dude, I grew up in New Orleans. I used to see Chris Owens dance on a regular basis, and if you don't know who Chris Owens are, you're probably homophobic. It's no, dude. People from New Orleans are not homophobic. It's not our custom. We don't really care what sex you are, or which sex you think you want to be. We don't really
twice
care
a year, you got naked homosexual groups walking up and down the street,
roaming around the quarter. Yeah, it's different for us. It's what I'm saying is that was disrespectful to everyone who practices that religion that believes in the Last Supper. If I was still a Christian or a Catholic, I would be offended. I would be seriously offended that I needed to do something about it in some shape, form, or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not a Christian anymore, so I can't. I'm not offended personally by it, but I do think it's horrible. I mean, it's not even horrible. Just not the Last Supper alone. The group of people looked at just like freaks, man. Look at it. I wanted to sing that song. Look at the freaks. Look at the freaks. It's why? Because what are you telling me? Look, dude. Okay, I'm gonna be polite about this. I know some queens and they are freaks, and I know some transies that are freaks. Okay, even they would tell you they are freaks. All right, no, they would not argue with me about this. Oh no.
Mm-mm.
One example.
Be proud of it. They would be.
One of them decided to have all his teeth pulled so he could give better. You know what?
Yeah, gum jobs.
Yes, I'm serious. And they wear outrageous flaming clothes. That's their business if that's what they want to do. But when you act like that, you can't expect people. Not everybody's going to be happy with it. Well, the blue girl, the bubble girl, as we're going to call her, the big blue girl, she's suing now because people were offended by her. I'm thinking, you can sue me because next time I'm seeing him, I'll call you big fat ass. I mean, Jesus, you're like it's me, Sean, and Jay put together still don't make the size of you, girl. and I'm somewhere Jesus is going, you fucking kidding me, right? They think that's what I look like. You're lucky that some lightning bolts didn't come down and wipe out all of your asses. No, I would be offended. And if I was one of the apostles or if I was one of Jesus, I would be offended. I'm just saying I would be offended. I'm pretty sure God smited the whole planet for less than that. I'm pretty sure, people. Y'all better be careful with this shit. And the big flood and the fire and stuff. No. Y'all better be careful with this. You're picking on his son. He might get offended by it. The Last Supper is something that is basically almost supernatural for the Christians, especially the Catholics. And to do that to it, you ask whatever comes out of this, and there's going to be repercussions coming out of this. You deserve. That's all I can tell you. The Catholics deserve what they get too. So they haven't been, well, I'll just say they haven't been the best group. Spanish Inquisitions alone is probably enough. Well, that's when we talk about the Vatican, people forget about that. We always talk about all the stuff that's in the Vatican. The people forget all the Crusades and all the shit that was brought back from the Middle East. Because the Vatican's, 1,800 years old, but they forget about all the stuff they stole from the Middle East that was much older, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years older. Yes. Yes, we talk about it all the time, the burning of Alexandria. That just sucked. The great library went bye-bye. It was probably good for the United States. It probably helped us to become dominant, but I imagine they had stuff there that might have weighed heavy on us. But we got to go, guys and girls. Be sure to come check out Sean on Sunday and Jay on Friday and on Wednesday and stuff. Who? Oh, there is a new show on Friday. I have not heard it. Michelle aired it today. We're losing a show on Friday, though. Be Honest is going to be going away. Well, she's got her other show on Tuesday that keeps her pretty busy.
Who, Carol Ann?
Yeah, no, not Carol Ann. Yana.
Oh,
yeah,
Dr. Yana.
Yeah, Dr. Yana. Yeah, she's already got a show on Tuesday. She was doing Tuesday. She's just going to be doing her Tuesday show. And I didn't see the name of the new show. What do you mean? No. I didn't see the name of the new show. That's what I was saying to you. It's well, we are on Rumble now too. Yeah, we're on Rumble too, so you can watch us on Rumble. No, we're a lot of places these days. We're all. I mean, really and truly, we're all over everywhere. Even I get confused sometimes. We have issues with some things and some things not so much, but. When you do what we're doing, from time to time. Yeah, you can get us on Rumble. You can watch us live on Rumble. Well, any of the hosts can use it. It's just you have to set it up per show. It's not like some of the other stuff we use where you just click it and go. Yeah, I know that kind of bites, but that's Rumble. That's not us. And LinkedIn is back on. I won't put it on the list of this weekend, but it'll be back on for people to use too. Yeah, so it's on my private. Oh, it's not on my private. It's on the UPR and Lincoln account. It's like, there's like 20 or 25,000 people over there. Y'all could go visit. Actually, they're more interactive than the people on YouTube. Yeah, they are. Don't ask me why. And no, X said we had to pay, so we're gonna have to set up an account that's a premium account, I guess.
Just to be on X. Yeah.
Yeah, to broadcast on X, not to be on X.
Well, on the plus side,
it's
X
Sean's
is
fault.
moving to Texas.
He was picking on Elon.
My show's on X.
Huh?
Yeah, he was.
My show's on X.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like $10 a month or something you got to pay. Whenever we get around to it, we'll set it up. $8. So we'll set it up.
I'm not hating. I'm just making fun. But they really are moving the corporate offices to Texas, which is pretty cool.
Everybody's going to Texas.
$8 a month is worth it for free speech.
Yeah.
Yes, and I am a big fan of Elon and free speech. Oh, they got mad at him the other day because he said something that broke his own rules, and then the lady told him something about it. He looked at it, he said, "You do know I own the network, right? Our privilege is to be in the owner." And she said, "Well, that's not how it's supposed to be." He looked at it and said, "Well, that is how it is going to be."
Yeah, oops.
So Mark Zuckerberg said he's not going to back Kamala Harris. At least that's what he told Trump in a private.
That weasel turned on a dime. He just knows which way the wind's blowing.
Because Kamala scares him. That's why. Because he's
a weasel. Like, he messed with the last election, and he knows Trump's pissed. So he's trying to aggrandize himself. He's trying.
You're right. Because one of the things Trump said is he wanted an investigation into all the social media and some of those things.
And he should. They should investigate the crap out of those organizations. What they did was messed up.
Vladimir Putin No, I'm calling you Karen because you're acting like an ass. Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, it was the German Chancellor, French President, the guy from Lizinski, and a couple of altogether. There's been 12 world leaders that have already contacted Trump, and because they think he can end the war, both wars actually, and he can. As soon as he becomes president, they're going to quit fighting because Biden don't want to.
Trump said that he would get Putin to back down before the inauguration.
Well, Putin's probably already done that. He's kind of said, look, he said, no, I can work with Trump to end the war. Putin's already said that. He's pretty much told everybody, look, I can work with the guy to end the war. And Trump's not going to put up with Hamas and all of them. He's going to go and kill them. That's what he's going to do. I can tell you what he's going to do. He's going to show up. He's going to get on TV and say, you have 48 hours to return our hostages or we're going to kill everyone you know. And we're not going to stop killing them until your whole entire species does not exist. Same thing he told to what's his name in North Korea. And he went and hid for 3 years afterwards.
Yeah.
Because he's serious. He's going to kill you. Remember when the Syria guy told him, oh, you can't do nothing. And he popped up a submarine and unleashed, 93 missiles on its ass? Cruise missiles, no less. They were so mad at him because he spent, I don't know how many millions of dollars that was. To me, the best part of that whole story was that he did it, but he was having dinner with Xi Jinping when he did it. So just to give Xi an understanding, well, look, I'm just having dinner and I'm wiping out half of Syria at the moment. Give me a few minutes. Because you mean Benghazi? Benghazi was a disaster. No one ever got punished for it. Hillary got, I fell asleep and nothing happened really. Notice what she said. She said she was asleep.
Yeah, Fugazi.
No. She said she was asleep. She should have been executed for what happened to them people. Mm-hmm. If that would have been a Republican, he'd be in prison. I don't know when the Democrats got a get out of free jail card. I'm not sure when that happened, but it happened. What? Oh, and wait. How come Maxine Waters has not endorsed Kamala?
That is interesting.
It took Obama a couple of days to do it. And wait, when they caught Michelle and asked her about it, he said, well, my husband's already came out and said. She would not say she backed Kamala Harris. There's no self-respecting woman.
But all the news media had to, especially on Fox, they had a little ticker tape on the bottom, and it said Michelle. It said, what's it? Barack, Michelle Obama back Harris.
Yeah, because that's what the Clintons did.
Yeah.
Hillary came out and not Bill, and Obama came out and not Michelle.
Right.
Because I can tell you myself, Hillary don't like Kamala. If she could, she'd choke the bitch to death. Oh, well, yeah, she wants to be her VP. No, Hillary does. Okay, just so we get this straight. If Hillary was to become VP, and by some miracle they were to win, Kamala would be dead in a week.
Within a week, she'd be dead.
Yeah, she'd be dead in a week. Oh, yeah, you mean Hillary who's killed, 140? No, people, I'm telling you. Not a week, at least a month, she'd be gone. Some accident somewhere, some sniper or something. Oh, she choked on something in the middle of the night. I'm telling you, you don't screw around with Hillary, man. You leave Hillary alone. No, I wouldn't. Oh, no, I'm scared of Hillary. She's a crazy bitch. I know anytime she went and visited one of Clinton's girlfriends, you never heard from them again, ever. No, they're still alive. You just never hear from them. Oh, no. Because she didn't go tell him shit like, oh, I'm going to give you some money. You're going to sit down and choose. No.
You didn't hear anything from Monica Lewinsky for 30 years.
It's going to be more like this. If you talk again, it will be the last time you speak.
Yeah.
You do not mess with the Hillary. But we got to go, guys, because we're already late. Any polls, stuff like that, send them to iCarCox.net. We do them on Fridays. Frankie asked me the other day about, I know in the old days we used to have one or two of these shows like half hours during the week, just like on Mondays and Wednesdays, so people could, but we don't have the extra hosts right now, the extra political hosts. All of us either have jobs or careers or other stuff going on in our life. No, Sean's got like 14 kids. What are you talking? He's a Mormon. You didn't know that? He's got like 14. Don't ask me how his wife does. I think he's lying. I think he's got like 5 wives, but still. I only knew one woman who had the Millers, who were good friends of mine when I was growing up, had 11 children.
Wow.
11. Their house was like a freaking nightmare. It was crazy over there. And they're all like a year apart. It was insane.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. 14. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how she does it and puts up with his ass at the same time. I mean, we're going to send this woman a trophy this year, man.
We got free labor.
What's it? And
that's
Camila's best thing right there, man.
You got him in the basement making shoes.
That's Camila's best thing about no, Stephanie. So she got in trouble twice for quotes. Once for using illegal immigrants to do jail labor, stuff around, for using them like in San Francisco to go do stuff out on the streets and clean the properties. And then somebody ratted her out because they made between, I think it was 34 cents and 64 cents an hour. That's slave labor. That's illegal, I'm pretty sure. I think even prisoners got to get a minimum wage if you're going to put them out on the street working.
Yeah, the prisoners do. I think they get like 50 cents or 48 cents or something like that. It's not a lot, but the bulk of whatever work they do in most prison systems, it isn't actual cash they go home with. So they can go to like the commissary at the prison and buy like a bar of soap, shampoo.
Yeah, but we're not even talking about that. We're talking about the stuff they were doing out working on the streets, picking up the streets and taking care of stuff, making sure, helping them remove homeless and stuff like that. Yeah, they had them doing a lot of stuff in San Francisco. And it wasn't just them. They were doing it to blacks that they were arresting for. I mean, she was putting people in jail for minor drug charges. And 3, 4, 5 years. I was like, and why any self-respecting black person would vote for Kamala's beyond me. I have no clue. And every time she changes what color she is, somebody should be out there going, "Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?" I know Morning Joe all but choked. He was trying to talk nice about her the other day, but he was having a hard time. It was hard. Him and his crazy girlfriend, wife, whatever. She's the two cheaters. No, they were both married with children, and they both cheated. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what they did. That's how they got their own show. They cheated. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure Mama and Daddy from the other ones got a good bit of money out of it. Oh, I don't have no doubt about that. He basically cheated on air. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. But we got to go, so I want to thank everyone that tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Any moans, groans, bitches, gripes, or anything else for that matter, you write to Michelle DeRoche at michellederoche.com. Well, actually, just go online, look her up, and send her. No, I'm not giving y'all her email. You're stupid. That's not going to happen. Yeah. Well, I'm going to write, look her up. She's not that hard to find. She's a pretty popular chick. Write to her and let her know any bitches. As far as what you asked Denise, you have to talk to her. She's in charge of the network. She'll tell you what's up and down. And yes, Carly, we get all new stuff on Roku tomorrow, and we get all new stuff on the network tomorrow because everything will be getting posted. I'll be spending the next 2 days catching up. Oh, no, I'm in my studio. I don't know if y'all can hear the air conditioner, but it's cool in here now. It's not cold, but it's cool. It was 104. Look, I like all of you people, but not enough to sit in 104 degrees and post archives. It's not going to happen.
Well, it's like 100 here in Pennsylvania today, so.
Hey, good look at what you're doing down there. And Christy just popped in and say hi. No, we're out of here. What do you mean? Well, I tell you what. No, yeah, I let him pick the color of my shirt sometimes. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing a red
pumpkin.
tonight.
What are they calling that? Spice or pumpkin?
No, this is actually blood red. For some reason, it's not coming.
Oh wow, it looks orange over here.
Yeah, it's actually blood red, but it does when I'm looking at it, it looks orange, but it's super red. No. I don't. I'm about to change cameras because it does kind of short up. But oh, you mean the beard? Oh well, okay. Let me explain to you. I earned these whiskers. All right. I know y'all are used to seeing it another color, and when I'm doing a lot of TV, which
each
I do
one
a
is
lot
a
of
good
times,
deed, right?
Yes. Anytime I do a lot of TV, it's brown. because it just doesn't show up good on their camera. So no, it's their
There's this
request.
amazing stuff called
No,
beard
I would
and
leave it
mustache
this
wax.
because this is who I am, but I like it this color. I notice a lot of people look at it when I'm out and about. No, when I'm brown, I just look like every other dumbass on the planet. Yeah. Just you see that guy? He just looks like a dumbass. No, but like the thing I'm doing for Netflix right now, they want it. Actually, they want it black. They don't even want it brown. Don't ask. I asked them if I could dye it red like my shirt. They told me no. It's well, they all have their rules. It all started. I was doing a thing with Prometheus, and I was in Washington D.C. filming. This is like 20 years ago, and it just started getting this color. Still kind of salty, peppery. And the girl said it looked like somebody smeared baby poop across my face. Could I please dye it?
That's nice.
And well, when she showed me the picture, it did. It was like my face was like cut off from here down. So I went the next day, picked up some, did the dirty deed, and they started filming that afternoon. Yeah. No, first, and then guys, let me say this right now before we leave. If you're a guy and you're over 40 and you want to dye your beard, that's fine. I'm not going to give you trouble about it. Don't go get that shit like Giuliano had that washes off your face while you're in this sweating.
It's like
get
shoe
real
polish.
dye. Yeah, go get real dye.
Beard and mustache wax. It's almost
It lasts 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
and you don't have to worry about it. And it actually lasts longer than that if you let your beard grow out. But
or you don't wash your face every day.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Samantha. I appreciate it. No, I like it this color. It's kind of fluffy right now, but I like it this color. To each his own. See, it's gray right here too. Or right here. You can see it. Yes. Well, when you're 40, you get gray. What can I say? If you believe I'm 40, I got some stuff I want to sell you. I have to say, I appreciate the comment, but I'm nowhere near around 40. Sean's in his 40s. Jay and I is old as dirt. Oh, you mean the other Sean? He's off tonight. Nah, he's
he wasn't feeling too good tonight.
We and sometimes we can be rough. Leah is learning how to drive rigs. Yes.
CDL.
She's out there at the big rig. She could actually drive her standard rig, no less. But they got the automatics now, so you don't have to drive standard. She's crazy. I tell her all the time, I said, let me know if you ever come down deep south because I'm staying home. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying home. I mean, she's like this tall. She's like, I think 5'4" or something, 150 pounds maybe. I'm not even sure how she gets the damn fifth wheel connected.
You back up to it.
Yeah, but you got to hook the thing up. You got to pull the thing down.
Well, once you're in, then you got to go in there and then pull the.
And then you got to roll the wheels up. You better have some.
Oh, well, that's easy. I've done that. It's a lot easier.
You got manly muscles. She got girly muscles, man. It's different.
Believe me, the spindles on those things have so much grease on them. It's amazing. They're usually not that hard to do.
Dana, no, I actually know a couple of girls who drive rigs, yeah. And then of course there's a chick from Ice Trucker, man. She's insane.
Yeah, the blonde
she's
girl,
like this tall. Yeah, she's insane. No, there's a few trucks you see now. Yeah, I mean you don't see a lot.
Not only is she that small, she's driving a 90,000-pound vehicle over the ocean. There's no road.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally driving on ice on the Bering Sea.
Well, Christopher, a lot of them drive automatics now. They shift automatic. They have automatic powers. They have power steering, automatic shifting. Oh yeah, they're like driving a car.
I mean, you're talking 21 gears. It's really, really hard to clutch 21 gears because
it's a whole different thing. But she learned how to do both because there are still trucks for certain reasons that have to be standards, especially with different types of loads. If a load's particularly heavy, it's hard to drive an automatic.
You need a certain amount of torque in first gear to get that 90,000 pounds rolling.
Yeah, drop it back down. But again, we got to go, people. Man, my dogs are looking at me like, Daddy, please feed me. Dude,
Daddy, I'm hungry.
No, not really. Daddy wants to eat, not the dogs.
The dogs will enjoy whatever drops off your plate, though, I guarantee you.
But guys, before we go, don't forget to vote. We're past the 5 million now, so we're only looking for the 5,000 people that can vote to help us to win. I don't know. You mean, excuse me, I don't know if we've won. or if you've got runners up. So what'll happen is it's got a couple weeks for the. So what they do is the people who don't get picked, they ask them to vote along with another 500 or 2,000 people, and then all of them go vote for the shows that got picked. Yeah, and then those shows determine. Well, News on the Flip Side and The Centralists and UFO on the Cover, for that matter, and Science Beyond for the last 5 years has got runner-up. Well, runner-up's all fine and dandy if you like to lose.
You want to be a loser, yeah.
I know it's not a loser. I understand. It's second place. Okay. To me, second place is losing.
It's not like a horse race where you.
I played football when I was young. I played darts. I played a lot of things where you got trophies, and I wanted the big trophy. Then keep the little trophy. I've actually told people before to keep the little one. Do whatever you want with it. Give it to somebody else. Because I'm not trying to hate. I mean, it's nice to be recognized. It really is. But I want to win. Sean wants to win. Jay wants to win. Yeah. Even Leah wants to win. But we got to go. Stop it, people. Good night, everyone, and stay tuned for. Oh, I almost did it again.
Scott Bakula's next.
Almost did it again. Dave Scott is next, man. Y'all hang out for Dave Scott.
Star Trek Enterprise.
If I ever meet Scott Bakula, I'm going to call him Dave Scott. You know that, right? Good night, everybody. Y'all have a good evening. I know.